Hey guys, welcome back to another playthrough of Tokyo After School Summers. It is the 7th anniversary. Woo! We're gonna check out a lot of content today. There is gonna be quite a diverse portfolio, and I feel like every single year I cover this topic, I always forget one or two things, unfortunately. So this time I prepared a list. I should be able to cover everything that has been released, including things that aren't necessarily in the gameplay. So let's do this. Let me know if the sound is fine as usual, even though no one ever does, but whatever. But yeah, we are going to be introduced to 7th anniversary by the good old virtual influence band. But before we even begin any of that, I'm going to talk about, actually, since this is going to take a while, let's just turn that music on again. I am going to be talking about, what am I going to be talking about? I'm taking care of myself. Yeah, the content that released outside of the game that was released for commemorating the anniversary. So first off the bat, we have a new commemorative anniversary website. It's mostly redundant. You can check it out. I don't have the link on me, but just always go to hostmo.info to read all these details. But to review, first off, we are going to get that commemorative anniversary website, which just for the most has links to the other things. Next up, we have a new instrumental video featuring the in-game band, Virtual Influence. I keep on saying virtual, it's a viral influence. And that band features Benten and Bentenet on the B-Web, Typhon on the bass, Ifrit on the drums, and Fenrir on the keys. So this song right here was their original piece, and it originally released for Unfurl the Sails, a Golden Treasure Ship. Very cool event with a very cool band. Unfortunately, we never really heard of their existence again. I think the protagonist is also part of the band, but we don't really do anything, so they kind of reference that in the actual video, though. Check it out. They have all the voice actors from every band member there, and they're talking about the anniversary titles as usual, but they've also introduced a new medley for... they introduced a new medley for some of the coolest hits from Hostmo. Featuring the instruments from Viral Influence. Very cool. Yo, Xeno, welcome. And next off the bat, near the end of the video, they also released a brand new song with some callouts from each of the members. So I'm looking forward to adding that to my playlist. Everything about it is very cool. Nothing from the banners. We'll get to the banners soon. I'm just letting more people join while I read out the things that are being added in Anniversary. And last off the bat, for what was available on that commemorative anniversary website is news that Life Wonders has released or has made new social media presence on both Instagram and TikTok. I don't use either app, so it doesn't affect me. But to commemorate the moment, they also released a bunch of new profile pictures that you can use if you want to. It features the summoners, entertainers, and like tycoons, missionaries, and wisemen, berserkers, a few other guilds like that. So check them out if you want. Unfortunately, if you have a guildless favorite, then they're not going to be there. But yeah, that's it for the review portion of what's outside the game. We're going to review what's inside the game now, which is quite a bit. Okay, let's do this. All right. So, welcome Gazer, Jean Rivera, and Harvey Kais, and Adrian. Yeah, alright. We are going to be talking first off of the login campaign. So make sure you're logging in every day for the next few days. There is going to be a bunch of goodies you'll receive. Skill seeds, level seeds, stamina drinks, shards, stones, coin, tickets, blossoms, guild certificates, and AR tickets, and lamp oil. So everything good in between for until the end of the next week. So yeah, do not fail to miss a single day, because if you miss out on a day, you miss out the reward entirely. Yo, oddly, I'm just reviewing every single piece of content this time because I refuse to forget anything this year. Every single fucking year, I always forget some garbage from the anniversary, and it always stinks. Alright, so that's done with the login campaign. So we're gonna enjoy the first part of the game now, which is going to be the anniversary party. So the special scenario that was released just for this campaign. It's going to be voice acted, so there's not going to be any voice acting for me for this. Much to the disappointment of most of you, I'm sure, and maybe the relief of you for some of you. But it's important because this is actually how you get the tickets, which we'll be talking about after. So let's do this. Higher gameplay. There's gonna be gameplay at the end. I won't forget it this time. There's actually some things to play. Woo! Viral influence, let's go! Typhon, I will suck your dick. I will suck both your dicks. Typhon, get over here. The finale of Viral Influence's performance for the 7th anniversary concert is met with wild applause. Yeah, let's give them a round of applause. Woo, Squidward, yeah, Squidward! And the hall is still buzzing with excitement when you find yourself in front of the backstage door. What's going on? Is Benton going wild again?
まだ早い、入らないで。なんであと10秒待てないのあんた。
ペンテン班がゲーって言ってるのおもろいわ。ってなわけで、そこでもうちょい待ってな。
It feels wrong for me not to voice act these, but it's like in Japanese, so I kind of want to voice act these. You know, just read. Everyone can read this, alright? It's fine. I am resisting urge to voice act it.
白金をまといし我が手作りアクセをここに飾って完璧に決まった。こちらは準備万端である。
よし、バッチリだろ。いいぜ、入ってこいよ。セブンスアニバーサリーおめでとう。
Era certified weeaboo then. You know it. Don't you know, Arby? Being a weeaboo is in right now. Or it has been for a while anyways.
我らバズルドリーマーズに与えられし聖域楽屋である。
You know, I've never actually been to a concert, or if I have... Actually, I think I've been to like one time, but it was just like for some band I never heard about. But, yeah, I've never actually purchased tickets of my own accord to go to a concert or something I cared about. So this is all kind of like unexplored territory for me. Your sanctuary? It's just a regular backstage. I'm with the band and coming in.
そう、これぞアーティストに与えられた聖域。私はさっきからバンバン写真撮ってあげてるわ。SNS じゃ次から次へとバズりまくって夢みたい。
SNS is such a Japanese term, even though it's an abbreviation of like an English term. We don't use SNS, but it's like social networking something. But essentially, this is a reference to their new TikTok and Instagram. So if you have those, maybe go ahead and follow them, even though it's most likely just gonna have the exact same information.
それっていつもの炎上じゃねえか。それよか今が何の祝いか。分かってんだろな、弁天よ。え？みんながワイを見てるん？いやーん、もっとバッチリヘアセット決めときゃよかったわ。
I love Typhon. His voice acting's funny and cute. Wait, mixed up your hair or what are you talking about? What the fuck?
かつてない灼熱の共演、待ちに待った同胞の来訪、皆浮かれているのだ。
It's alright, we've been new. How vigorously the wolf's tail shakes. Well, how about we get started? Typhon's VA is so good. Yeah, you can you can tell his voice actor when it's shown in other anime because it's very distinctive. I'm pretty sure he's like the announcer guy in Boku no Hero Academia, for example. He has a very distinct voice. Then again, maybe it's just like other voice actors imitated too. Who knows?
ほら、グラスをどうぞお客様。じゃなくて、ほらよ、バンドメンバー。
生き死のように赤きブドウの露か、それとも人の罪の結晶か、選ぶがいい。
I'm just like I glaze over whenever I read Premier's lines. Very cool for me.
言うとくけど、どれも全部うちの学校から仕入れた産地直送ジュースやから、安心安全やで。
What the heck are you even saying? Coughing out blood? Incidentally, I do cough up blood sometimes whenever I go exercise a bit too hard. Or, you know, even a little. I'm not very fit. I feel like Typhon's lines here are being slightly cut off in the beginning, though. It's like a tiny bit that it's being gated too soon. Which is what happened to me during the fucking Mystic Christmas streams for parts 2 and 3 and 4. No one told me my voice was coming off like that. Jeez, someone's gonna warn me.
グラスは持ったわね。本日はお日柄もよくうんたらかんたら。
What kind of girl uses the word auspicious?
めんどくさいのと他人行儀はなし。それじゃあみんな、乾杯！
Kanpai! Woo! Cheers!
はいほれほれグイッとグイッとアンさんいける口やんほれ直してまうわ
Or Typhon screen time, please.
熱い汗をかいた後のこいつは最高に効くぜ
Okay.
ほらダースで持ってこい
Yeah, I feel like it's not just Typhon. All of their voices are being like slightly cut off in the beginning.
あらもうない。おかわり。宝船に乗ってるみたいにふわふわしてきた気分。
Let's hear it again. You hear that, right? It's cutting off.
ほれほれほれほれ
Okay, maybe it's just me.
大河さえ飲み干すと歌われし我が渇きを潤すがいい
それにしたって7年って長くねえかジンおじさんがランプに封じられてたほどじゃねえがよ
I expected this game to be dead long ago. Oh well.
時の感じ方など人それぞれよ刹那でもあり悠久でもある
7ご主人はんはどうやったんこの7年は短かったそれとも長かった
A lot has happened in some years, Typhon.
長かったような短かったような。
It did feel short too, though.
こうしてあんたたちとバンド活動やってたのを振り返る日もいつか来るのかな。
It's kind of crazy to think that, what's it called, Tokyo After School Summers, I've been playing the entire time after I graduated. So it's pretty much like, you know, late into my life. But at the same time, it feels like it's been forever in my life too. You're looking kind of red, Ben. 10? Getting drink off the vibes.
そういえば次のライブには我ら以外のバンドを呼ぶらしいなもっと知名度の高い人気バンドとか
はあふざけんじゃないわよ。私たちバズドリが前座だとでも言うわけ
Well, this is your only your second outing. I'm surprised it took this long for you to have another release, but it's really, really nice to see that viral influence exists again.
弁天はんちょいクールダウンあかん完全に頭ほてってもうてるわ
It didn't even feel like 7 years. But yeah, hanging out with you guys, making videos and streams, and just talking about Toastmo so much has made it feel like it's been permanently there, but also kind of just gone in a flash while we while away those days.
あそれくらい熱く食ってかかるくらいじゃねえと俺らバズドリらしくねえよな弁天
We better have more viral influence content after this, not just this anniversary. Could you not pour oil onto the fire? But I see where Benton's coming from.
叫んだら次のやる気出てきた。それじゃとっておきのプレゼントいくわよ。プレゼントってなんでみんなで
Give me
何
the
囲んでる
tickets!
のよ。
Give me the tickets!
ここ楽屋アーティストの聖域なのよ。
せやかてワイら腹ペコやったんやもんライブで叫びっぱなし演奏しっぱなしやったしな
You can take a snack out of me.
だからって鍋はないでしょ。鍋はこういう時ってビュッフェでオードブルで
フェンリルの身内からの差し入れらしいぜ晩飯もまだだったしちょうどいいだろうああ違う
地獄の底のように煮えたぎりし出汁の香り
Classic Postman. Can't have Postman without a filler section about all the characters talking about food. Alright, come on, sit over here. It's really good. Don't you want any?
食べる。お肉と白滝多めでよろしく。身内でもファンの差し入れ無下になんてできないっしょ。 がいっぱい。てか、打ち上げっていうか、忘年会みたいね、これ。
7 years, yeah. I mean, I haven't played for all 7 years, so it's not like I experienced what the full game is about. But, you know, the first 2 years or whatever anyways. So it's more like been 5 years for me since I first played. Maybe a bit more than that, but yeah.
いろいろ段取り考えてたんだけど、ま、これも私たちらしいか。それじゃあ、はい、これ。7周年のライブだけじゃないわ。あんたにこれ渡す権利もバッチリ勝ち取ってたの。
とっておきのプラチナサロモンくんチケットだ。7周年にちなんで7枚お届け。
おいそれと手に入れられる。
No, I'm sorry, Ifrit.
とっておきの
I didn't mean to cut
プ
you
ラ
off.
チナサロモンくんチケットだ。7周年にちなんで7枚お届け。太っ腹だぜ。グラー。
Let's read Fenrir's line too. Typhon and Fenrir are some of the characters that got you into this game. They definitely have that soft design, and Typhon is a nice, unique design to have. You don't usually see it from furries.
交換期限は定まっておる。忘れなどせぬようにな。
Be sure not to forget to exchange them, everyone.
このチケットはな、みんなが手伝ってくれたんや。
I think Ifrit is only unpopular because of how shit he's been treated in this story. He could have been an okay character, but like every single time he shows up, it's just him being like a slave to Hakumen, or him being an oaf and losing all his money, or like, I know his design is also kind of mid, but like I think he rocked out the drummer outfit quite well. And, you know, his backstory was almost half good in his event. But they really don't treat Ifrit good in this story. You've been trying to think about what you've done in 5 or so years since you found this game. And yeah, somehow it doesn't feel like it's been that long considering where you're at in your life now. I feel like even if I haven't done too much with my life in the past 5 years, a lot has happened to me, to my life in the past 5 years. For better or for worse, for mostly worse, but I'm enjoying the betters and trying to focus on them too. Well, what I can anyways. For the 8th anniversary, they should just make a new game mode. Maybe base it off of FGO, because you hate host mode gameplay. No! Host mode gameplay is good. Shut the fuck up.
ご主人班のためにみんなが頑張ってくれたんやで。
It's actually really detailed, the gameplay, but you know, I'm obviously biased, so disclaimer. But I feel like the problem isn't the gameplay itself, it's more like the challenge level. Like the quests themselves are not matching up to how fun they could be. But there's just so much nuance to the gameplay itself that I can't, like, in good faith, say that it's a bad game.
ごっつ慕われとるで。
It's just the battles we face are very trivial for the most.
鼻めっちゃ低い。マジツッコミかい。
My sweetheart.
はいはい。積もる話はあるけどさ、このチケット進呈も SNS 用に写真撮るわよ。
You know, I actually did have a crush on a bassist when I was in high school too. Our high school bassist in our concert band. It didn't turn out well, and I may have done a bit too few neurotic things that got me suspended, but it's fine. So, Typhon speaks to me in a personal level as well as just like a very basic level. Also, yeah, rip Ifrit. It was shocking that he had even any story segments at all, so it makes sense that it makes it so much worse how underutilized he is. Yeah. I mean, I guess it feels underbacked. I'm not sure what you mean by underbacked. Never heard of that term before.
ほらほらみんな、並びなさい。私の SNS で鍛えた鳥テクを披露するわよ。
On the Instagram without saying engram. But if you mean to say that it doesn't look to have much polish, I mean, yeah, that's been a complaint since the beginning of time, but that's not the gameplay, that's just the polish of the game. It looks very basic, like worse than your mobile ad advertisements, but it's fun, so I don't care. Underbaked.
Peace!
Peace! Whoa! This is a really good photo. Everything looks so good in it. I don't look weird, do I?
伊達に SNS でバズってないわけ。 故郷の SNS 時代からこちとら鍛えられてんのよ。
And 10 needs to be my social media manager because I need a large audience for my content.
この締め付け感、なんとも癖になりそうだ。
Sometimes you forget Hostman was technically a puzzle game. It's not really a puzzle game. I mean, it's like calling chess a puzzle game, which you can rearrange it to be a puzzle, but like, it's very reactionary based. And... Oh no, we skipped a bunch! I need to turn that off. Okay. We skip.
伊達に SN
魔獣の毛を抑え込む特別仕様であるこの締め付け感、なんとも癖になりそうだ。
俺のはバッチリ耐火機能付きだぜ。そうやっておめえに褒められるのは悪くねえ。へへ。アンさん、似合ってる。
They really do keep on cutting off the beginning of their voice lines.
もうかっこええし、べっぴんさんやし、最高やん。
Oh, you could have seen Typhon's part while he was flattering me like that.
さて、ぼちぼちこちらはお開きにして、この後もう一暴れしてやるとするか。
The only puzzle you need to solve in the game is find Kasuga in your friend list. I mean, that's the problem. It's just the challenge is not at a high enough level, but the quality of the kits is really interesting. And as long as you don't focus on how easy it is to clear, then the game can be fun when you start optimizing beyond that, such as with turn count and with using your favorites, with doing as much damage as possible, or with perfectly countering everything. When you look beyond like the objective measure of like just beating the quest and look at other things to optimize, it starts becoming a lot more fun. Like for example, optimizing for mentor clears in dungeons, which we'll get to eventually in the stream. Yeah, there's more to it than gameplay, but you don't notice it usually. It feels pretty simple to play it. Also, why you made fan kit in the first place? Yeah, I remember that. To be honest, your main issue with the game is how there's nothing to do. Yeah, I've mentioned this to some friends before. It would be nice if they added something like a weekly form of challenge. So, in addition to daily dungeons and, just several times a day event quests or dailies or whatever, it'd be nice to have some sort of bigger challenge overhanging as well. That's just something we have to create a new team for every single time, because right now it's not happening, especially with the challenges from the past year. It's largely been just use the guts resistance AR or evasion piercing AR or the HP loss reversal effects, and things will work out. Challenge quests to dumb down to kill or get killed, survive long enough to satisfy the Gacha God. Yeah, I mean, it's just the quests themselves that are a problem. I think there's a lot of depth to be had with the actual way the game's structured, but Life Wonders is not tuned the quests that way. But I feel like we might be biased as like veteran players. It might actually be difficult to beat those quests for beginning players. But Life Wonders should not be tuning the game just to beginner players, right? They should be like releasing level 90 quests or some kind of challenge for endgame players. Yo, Israel, welcome. We're just finishing up the scenario right now that gives us our 7 tickets. Presented by Viral Influence.
魔曲の調べを奏で、世を絶頂へと導いてみせん。
ほらほら、あんさん、前に出たって。真打ち登場。バシッと決めたってよ。
そうよ、覚えておきなさい。私たちは全員揃ってバズルドリーマーズなんだから。
So I believe their actual name in Japan is Puzzle Dreamers. I think that sounds cool. Cooler than Viral Influence anyways. I don't know what Puzzle Dreamers is supposed to be, but it sounds cool, right?
We are Puzzle Dreamers! これからもよろしく!
You guess, but the game also has no community either outside of friend list, and the game has no way to build community. This game is kind of... It necessitates you to enjoy it with the community to really like the most of it. Oh my god, shut up, Solomon.
まだ真夜中? 本当だ、真っ暗です。
I'm not sure if you've joined a community yet, but you can find a community always in every single video and stream. I'll link to the Discord server that I'm in. I really should make my private Discord server public, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that's incentivizing enough. But there's a full community to the actual invite in my videos that are just, a lot more enjoyable to talk about the game with people. Oh no, they just said it. Oh, no raids, normal player, no nothing. Just got a solid attack and solid tank, and that's it. Yeah. You gotta set your own challenges in this game. I know that's a bit extra, but you can still enjoy the game in that way. And you want to enjoy the game because it's a game. If the game gets more notice in mainstream, it would get censored. No, anything about that.
すいません。我慢して待ってたんですが、僕いつの間にか寝ちゃってたみたいです。でも皆さんのライブは見てましたよ。
Please, let's not appeal to the common, denominator here. The moment we start appealing to mainstream, or we have to start appealing to mainstream, all your giant bulge variants will disappear. Jeez. Make sure to clean the pins if you make your Discord public. Yeah, I might want to just delete that post entirely. But yeah. It's just a start right now. No specific plans for it yet, but I should probably get to it if I want to expand my own sort of personal community larger.
ケットシー君となんと特等席に招待されたんです。
Aw, that's cute. They're continuing their friendship, Ketchy and Solomon. Maybe we get less of it, but at the same time, it'll get very censored. Yeah, so let's not open the Pandora's box here. The concert was really exciting, huh? There were so many familiar songs. Check out the video, it's cool. They did a bunch of remixes to cool songs like Ipatam.
そうなんですよ、主様。ノリノリに飛び跳ねたり、思い出して泣いちゃったり。
I gotta admit, I did shed a tear and also laughed when I saw the medley too. I'm just a big nerd. Most people won't do that, but I was just like, whoa, I know those songs. I can't believe they did it. Because that's not something I expect them to do.
たくさん冒険してきたんですね。そりゃ7周年ですから、当然といえば当然ですけど。
7 years. I wonder if Kappe Yamaguchi's ever expected to be working on this game for so long.
それで、
His voice sounds slightly tired from this.
まさか、サロモン君もライブに電撃参戦とか。
Okay, Salmon, calm down. I don't know why this section even exists. I thought the stream was only starting in 3 minutes. I mean, I said it'll start 30 minutes early. Then, granted, I just said that like 15 minutes before the stream. Do you plan to expand to other games, Ara? Gonna be exploring, what's it called? Live Here, whenever it gets an English translation. I heard there was some talk about it being translated soon. Who knows? We'll see. I don't know if I'll continue playing it. You really need to see if I enjoy it. But I've already played other games. Too limited, what's called exposure. I'm a big fan of like detective of mystery games, so I've already played both the Itzamna style series as well as Master Detective Archives. So maybe not for the same audience here, but I'm a big fan of them. Games like that is what you're most likely gonna expect, other than Hoso and maybe Level Hero. Not gonna lie, the degen in you wants the game to stop with the softcore and just do what another Eidos does. Unfortunately, the age range in the game is concerning and complicated. That is a stupid idea, I think, because I feel like this is a common trend with just pornographic games and anything in general. It's just that the moment you tread into porn territory, every single other aspect of that media suffers. The story starts becoming absolutely shit and nonsensical, and there's gonna be convoluted sections just to go to the porn scene. It'll just turn into like your average porn plot where they're just like girl hiding behind a lemon tree or stupid ass shit like that. So it's a bad idea. I feel like the soft score stuff, if you want hardcore porn, there's like an infinite amount from the fanworks. It has a broader reach. You'll get a lot more porn of it just because it is softcore, because it'll reach a broader audience. And if it was hardcore, then it'll just be like locked behind an app restriction, and it's like, why make porn when there's already porn in game and things like that. It's a dumb idea. I don't think it'll work, and it'll make the story suffer, which I came to love. You're wondering why everyone hated Salmon's voice every year. Without fail, I'm forced to be reminded of this, Steven. I feel like his voice was a bit hoarse here so far, so I think Kappe Yamaguchi might be getting a bit too old for this. I don't know. I'll live here, Arathan. I might check it out, yeah, but I don't know if I'll continue it. I'll definitely check it out, though. We play this game. Don't worry, Ara, if there's degenerate stuff on your Discord. It's more about legal moderation reasons. Like, I can't... That's one of the aspects I would want to control if I do open up my server. It's gotta be like 18 plus implied and all that. And then I have to check it somehow, and I don't know how to do that stuff, but maybe I'll consult someone one day on it. In all fairness, Host Mode Story has some really dumb moments too. It has dumb moments, but a lot of stories have dumb moments too. Like fucking end of Attack on Titan. Lemon Tree, what are you like Summon's voice? I just remember seeing this like what's called porn scene, or not porn scene, but something that was lampooned on to come from a porn scene where there's just this naked girl stealing lemons from some tree or some garbage like that, and then they punished her by sex. It made no sense. Essentially, don't make your game into a pornographic one, because then there's just gonna be stupid ass fucking story that is just honestly a turn off for me. I just want to say goodnight. Sorry I couldn't be with you tonight. Let's put on another show sometime.
主様ってば優しいです。大丈夫ですよ。ちゃんと一緒にいますから。ノリノリカラオケ検定3級の僕ですから、華麗なタンバリン姿、今度お見せしますね。
Wait, does Kappe voice someone? I feel like this is such a different voice, but he sounds really cute. I don't know. It just changes your mind when you realize he looks like a 50-year-old man. Last recertification, huh? And immaculate karaoke vibes. I've never done karaoke yet.
ああ、見てください、主様。
Also, welcome, Jerbear.
大きく。初めてのことも、繰り返す挑戦も、たくさん乗り越えて迎えた7周年。その隣にはこの有能使い魔であるサロモン君がずーっと一番近くで、その隣にはこの有能使い魔であるサロモン君が
What about visual novels was born? Echo and such handle it well. I've never checked them out, but I feel like those kind of pornographic visual novels are a bit exhausting. I tried out the classic Muranatsu, and I was like, there's so many routes, but the moment I got one, I was just like, I felt bad to explore the other route, so I just stopped after I got Juichi. I was like, okay, that's enough. I don't want to betray Juichi. And it's also like emotionally exhausting to play through all the days and be like, you know, let's just hang out and be pals and get to know each other, and like what? Or this, it's a bit too much investment for me. Light pollution in Tokyo must be terrible. If you're talking about the gates, I mean, it's probably terrible even without gates. Peak VN fiction, Muranatsu. I know Muranatsu's incomplete, but it has complete routes, so. Thanks, Lo Salmon. Yeah, another year! Who's the good boy?
お任せください、主様。だから、もうちょっと、なでなでしてください。
Just pretend I purchased the little salmon plush and I'm petting it right now. I think the only fictional story that I actually appreciated the integration of pornography with the story would be like Trouble by Akaki Kyo, as well as what's it called, Neko Roreko by Kinoshita Jiro. And the only reasons why I think they were good in those stories was because some really fucked up things happened where the sex itself was somewhat problematic in itself and caused the story to actually move forward with them getting more fucked up in the head because of it. And not in like a degenerate, mind break way, but in a kind of, it's actually kind of ruining their everyday life as a result too.
主様も夜更かししすぎちゃダメですよ。あんまり遅くなっちゃうと皆さん心配しますからね。
Spam petting style emotes. Oh wait. Unfortunately, the YouTube emoji system, you can put in your custom ones, but you can't put in GIFs. So the technology that Discord has is not there yet for Google for whatever reason. Another year, another year, another year. All bad for people who live next to a gate trying to get some sleep. would live next to the gates? You know, one of them is like next to the Central Park.
と一緒にいました。
Oh. Okay, where's our tickets though? Give me the tickets! Give me the tickets! Give me the tickets, bitch! Tickets! Tickets! There they are! Tickets! Early furry manga. Oh, nostalgia. Bye, Drapes. Yo, you're here! Spent 250 stones to pull every unit on Valentine's Snowfight banner except the ones you care about. You used your tickets and got money and flowers. Alright, so we'll be continuing. That was just the beginning. We finally got the tickets. But next thing on the list, to make sure I cover everything, is we're gonna look at the platinum tickets and what they actually do, of course. So this is how you access it. You go into the shop button in the bottom right here, and then you do exchange event items. They really need to update this interface. It's like such an inconvenient way to access these essential shops for both events and for everything else. Alright, so we exchange your platinum tickets over here in the item exchange featuring Fenrir's face.
祝いの日までバイトなのかって？当たり前だぜ。裏方あっての祝宴だろうが。さっきもらったチケット、貴重なもんらしいからな。
Sorry, I'm listening to Ifrit's voice acting.
貴重に選べよ。返品不可だぜ。振り向かず。そいつに決めた
I
か。
didn't pick anything yet, come then.
そいつに決めたか。ほら。
Oh, Leannan jump scare. He's not that bad, but he's just, you know, he seems a lot uglier because of his shit appearances and, you know, shit skins. This one's not bad though. I'll probably switch to this after, or, you know, maybe even during. You spent all your stones for summer Boogeyman and didn't get him. Ugh. Okay, so we received 7 tickets as you saw, 7 for every year of the anniversary. And yes, this happens every single year, so it inflates to a ridiculous number. 3 was like really good to have before, and now we have 7. Actually, too much to know what to do with. So the exchange rates is we actually, for most items, you can exchange only 2 items, but for the coins, you can exchange up to 3, which for 2 looks like 25 million. It's kind of shit, honestly. But it seems like some people are redeeming 3 of them. And what's new in this is, of course, all the ARs that are released over the past year, as well as all of the units. This is only featuring the permanent units as well as the permanent ARs for the 4-star varieties. So none of the 5 stars, none of the 3 stars, and none of the limiteds. In addition, I missed it here, but these original printing booster ARs, seasonal ARs, are now available here, so they're pretty much gone forever from the rotation. This is the only place you can get them, presumably. Make sure you redeem them if you haven't already, but I don't know what the strategy is for this. It might not even be worth getting them. Right. So here are my thoughts, starting now. I don't think you should get these if you want to play the patient game, but if you're being a bit impatient, you can go ahead and get 1 of each because that's how you get the most bonus. It does feel a bit of a cop-out though if you're only getting it halfway. I feel like the best option here is just to play the long game and wait for new commemorative or new seasonal ARs to eventually, you know, replace the coin booster or be another coin booster or be another EXP booster. So this original AR, the Guildmaster AR, boosts rank EXP as well as ally points. You can redeem up to 6 in total to max it out. I already did when originally printed, so it's a very, I would say right now, it's a very, very bad deal to get these, but this is also the only way you can get these now, so I don't know, up to you, but you'll never be able to redeem them all either way because it's like, it requires 6 just to max 1, and then there's already 4 here, and by the time the next anniversary comes out, there's gonna be like 4 more, so you'll never catch up or redeem them all like this. So it might be worth it if you missed 1 or 2 for whatever reason, but if you like missed all of them so far, it's just not worth it. Just wait for the next season ARs. That's my thoughts on that. Don't waste your time on this for the most, unless you're like only missing 1 or 2. Alright, so next off the bat, oh right, last note, this is why it's very important, it doesn't matter what you think of those ARs, to redeem the boosters, the seasonal boosters, every time they come out fully. Don't half-ass it, because then they'll just be available through the shit exchange. Alright, so as for the essentials, I feel like it's always important to get skill seeds, no matter what. So I'll be redeeming those right away. We have so much tickets, so there's plenty left over. do not get the don't get seeds. All right, just don't. It's so easy to get these nowadays without any effort. Blossoms, don't get these, but a lot of people are gonna get them anyways because they feel like the grind for blossoms is kind of shit. I'm telling you now, don't get them because the grind for blossoms will become better as more blossom boosters come out. This is just not worth it. If you can farm it, don't get it. Skill seeds and level seeds you can't farm, so that's why they're worth it. Same reason for coin, although coin is also a very popular choice. It's just that farming it is very exhaustive and time consuming, so if you like don't really want anything else, sure, get the coin, but I still wouldn't recommend it because you can farm it. Speaking of, if you're farming, which you should be if you're playing optimally, then always make sure you save your drinks whenever you get them, like up until moments like these, which we'll get to for what I'll explain soon enough, but there is a half salmon campaign. I'll explain it more later. For level seeds, usually this was a good choice every year. However, they actually double the amount of level seeds you get during events now. You got 10 in total because the new total level cap increased to 20. So this is actually just a kind of shitty deal in comparison when you're getting twice as much from events now. So I would recommend not getting the level seeds, especially since it's going to take forever for you to level the units anyways. Don't get owner medallions, everyone knows that. Please don't. You can always farm these in the event, what's it called? There are farmable free quests you can get owner medallions from. 2 of them actually. The second one of course is better from my understanding. This is a new item, the Guild Alliance Certificate. Some people are not getting these, others are. I'm still not entirely sure if I should get it, or rather, I'm not sure if it's a must get, but I feel like I'm gonna get it, so it's fine. Because, you know, I'm not getting level seeds, which I usually do every year. Woo! Alright. But, yeah, you get 500 each, and I believe you get 500 from clearing an event, which it actually does take one number of resources to clear it. It's just an investment for a future. It might be farmable in the future, but who knows. Right now, I'm just gonna get it, presuming it's not. Because you never know how long it'll take. Alright, to the main meat of the content. Ticket recommendations for characters. Starting with the platinum tickets. Actually, let me just read out what you guys have said so far. Typhon's so beautiful, he is. Actually, let's switch out. Let's roll for Typhon. Typhon! Hi, Typhon. Typhon! This is very important. Oh my god, fucking Menton, go!
7周年特別交換所はこちらやで
Oh, that's good. You're a 3 coin, 2 level, and 2 skill chooser, to be honest.
したい気持ちはわかるけどパーッと使おう
I feel like,
慎重にそれでいて大胆に
if you care about level sealing a bunch of units, you still probably shouldn't get the level seeds because it'll just be very easy to catch up with level seeds anyways. You're not going to really be able to keep up with, you know, the amount of leveling you do in dungeons through that. But it might be worth for you to get the coins in. So I feel like coin might actually be more worth than level seeds in that case. So that's my hot take on that. You already spent your tickets on rare seeds, coins, and Masanori. Nice. Also, shop ARs. Would have gotten the new Thunderbird Gandharva AR if you could have. Already blew the skill seeds on Walter, spent level seeds on Hawkman. That's a choice. For Hawkman anyways, but skill seeds on Walter, very nice. Did exchange for attack seeds on 2K. They intended school and group boosts eventually. Yeah, I'm presuming so, but they are called Guild Affiliation Certificates, so I believe they're just going to be restricted to guilds, not something extendable to other affiliations. Typhon! Drizzle all over me, please. Oh my gosh! Jam section and that's it. I think it's your team where it's Timur, Yuma, Hermes, and Vapula when it's must get for me. Only thing I know is you want, for sure, Sphinx for magic, means, and Downtown Yoritomo. And skill seeds. Maybe money too, because you're a lazy bum. Yeah, not everyone has the energy for farming like I do. I'll do a demonstration of the free quests, but I'm not going to be farming on this stream because it's a very time-consuming thing. But yeah, so recommendations. I'm going to be making a video on this later, but for those that are tuning in now, you'll get an early preview of my recommendations. It's going to take a while for me to make the video. You're going to have to wait until Monday or Tuesday at earliest. Unfortunately, most people will have spent their tickets by then, but what can you do? The videos are very time-consuming to make. Especially if Life Runners doesn't like release the, you know, who's being available ahead of time. So no time to prepare it in advance. Alright, so for the ticket exchange, starting with the platinums, I will be recommending, first off the bat, man, this is not in order here. I'm just gonna scoot through. Leannan Sidhe, still a good pick for the 4 stars. So we're gonna be talking about the 4-star permanent units first. If you don't know what she does, just look up post-mode gameplay. She'll probably be there because she's such a basic bitch unit to be paired with Kasuga. All you need to do is move her behind a unit, especially Kasuga, but also many other units, to just massively amplify their damage. She also benefits from extended movement, so you can ferry around and cheese things like that by doing massive damage and moving away to safety. It's like extreme massive damage, like and over 10 times multiplier when you play with Leannan. She's still good even now after like over 3 years of release. Moving on, my next recommendation, Smoky God. Where is he? Smoky God is my next recommendation. He is extremely good. He used to be like, a bit of a meme in terms of never being as good as Leannan, and also just, reference Smoky God to say, to make a joke as if it's even comparable. But now he's become a lot better because of Wakan Tanka's evolution, which we'll get to coming up eventually. But yeah, he is extremely good nowadays because of that Wakan Tanka Mugen synergy, where he's able to give his massive activation rate bonus of 50% increased rate to everyone on the board now, not just people he's nearby. So he's definitely like a must-have now for sure. Just because that strategy is a must-have. Next off the bat is going to be Otohime. Otohime is my next recommendation simply because if you want like a column clear and you don't have one, she's actually one of the better ones, even though she is snipe range. We still don't have too many column clears that are among the permanent 4 stars, and I still think that Otohime is still one of the better ones. She doesn't get an Evo or anything, she's kind of very basic, but she works out well with Oz if you're just going for damage because her attack stat and her damage ambis is that large. So very basic kind of utilitarian use. I know it seems kind of boring, but just remember, farming is a lot more important than challenge clearing in terms of, team building. You can like clear challenges any billion ways and you need to clear it once, but for farming you need to have like the best of the best that you're going to be repeating. So having a unit like a column clear is extremely important in those cases for tall maps. Next off the bat is going to be, oh my god, it's Zhurong! Zhurong! I recommend Zhurong, of course. He does something that no other unit can. Well, that's not entirely true, but it's kind of insane what he does. Essentially, he refreshes every single debuff on the enemy. So that means if you have charm on them, you can permanently charm them. If you have like possession on them, you can permanently possess them. If you have count on them, you can permanently count on them. All these extremely overwhelming debuffs you can keep on refreshing. On top of that, if you stack all those debuffs, he can refresh them all. And on top of that, he 1,000 damage for every debuff he refreshes on the enemy. So that actually adds up quite a bit when you're stacking a bunch. Since a lot of flat damage expects like caps out at 3,000 at most, but it's very easy to get like 5,000 or even 8,000 damage with Zhurong's flat damage just from having a bunch of debuffs. So very, very, very powerful, but it is a bit niche. It's not gonna be used for farming for the most. It's mostly just gonna be used for challenges, but it's a very, very strong challenge team unit. The next unit off the bat is going to be Boogeyman! Boogeyman, overwhelmingly strong for his purpose, because no one else does it. However, it's not damage, it's not buffing other people. It's strictly just a movement-based utility. He pulls all enemies and allies in closer to himself. Now, it doesn't seem like much since it's not like any amp or anything, but that actually comes in extremely handy for wide maps, large maps, and any sort of farm where you need like a reliable setup, and it opens the gates to any amount of what's called to more units being able to actually reach their targets. So it just opens the gates for more units that are viable for farming now. In addition to that, he'll just enable the bunching up of enemies, which will allow you to trigger a bunch of effects a lot more frequently with units that activate their effects for every unit they hit. So he's incredibly potent for that reason. His 3-star 4 is not that important, even though he's a mentor, but you're not going to be able to redeem his 3-star here anyways. And, oh crap, I deleted my old recommendations here. It's fine. Gurangatch. is going to be over here. Did I actually... Hold on, I need to review something if I remove them or not. I think I did. Ugh, God, I'm gonna need to review this one more. Anyways, Gurangatch is extremely potent. He's like... No, let's not redeem him, please. He is like a reverse Oz, because instead of inflicting all range or destroying all range to your ally, he inflicts all range to all the enemies. That might seem like a bad trade deal, but he opens the gates to making a bunch of units a lot more potent that are strictly punishers. So punishing has always been a lot weaker because it's not good for farming, and it's even for challenges, it's always better to get the first hit before the enemy. And it's just hard to get hit by the enemy oftentimes due to the range. But with Gurangatch, he severely weakens them because of that weak all range penalty, and then you can just get hit by every single enemy on board several times, because he also does inflict combo to the enemies he hits as well. So it's a very potent setup, but you do need to have team building. Strong for Jacob, check out that video on him if you haven't. Next off in my recommendations is going to be... where is he? Yuma. So Yuma is a unit I will recommend because he's just like a better Christine. I will no longer recommend Christine. If you don't remember what Christine or don't know what she does, she is a turn 1 board amp or board wipe. Yuma does the same thing, except I believe it's stronger and scale is better. And also, it has damage. He provides damage amp to his allies, 2 damage amps, I believe. It's pretty good. Tenacity strengthening, as well as limit to the allies that are 2 squares left and right on him. So, the very 2 strong relevant utilities of board wipes, as well as large damage amp. Strong recommend. In fact, that's actually one of the units I'm going to get now with my 3 tickets left over. Unfortunately, I did delete some of my old recommendations like a fucking jackass. I don't know why. I think it's because... I wonder if I can undo this. Like, I can't. No, I can't. Alright. Alright, I'll just have to go off the top of my memory here. The other units I would recommend is going to be... Yeah. Itzamna. So Itzamna, everyone should have this unit. Well, that's not necessarily true nowadays, but Itzamna is extremely potent with buff sharers because he himself is a buff sharer, but he also removes his own buffs at the same time. This combination of sharing buffs as well as removing buffs will let him juggle buffs forever. So you can keep your guts and your increased recovery and your anything that lasts for 2 turns or more. You can just keep them all forever as long as you're able to pass them back and forth. His best partner is either going to be Tita, Christmas Tita that is, or Kana Tangaroa. Unfortunately, Kana Tangaroa is not redeemable, and neither is Christmas Tita. So you'll just have to figure out if you have them or not, but yeah, he's good. The next unit on my recommendation is going to be... Where is this bitch? Taromaiti! She got a really strong Evo with a specific setup. So I'm going to be talking about the setup more as we go, but the setup is going to be Smoky God, as I mentioned, and Wakan Tanka Mugen. Because Wakan Tanka Mugen does this very powerful thing where he spreads all his buffs. I'll talk about it more later. And that will let him spread Smoky God's increased activation rate to Taromaiti. Bring Oz as your 3rd unit, and Oz can then all-range Taromaiti. And post-Evo with Taromaiti, she is able to remove 3 different buffs from the enemies. It's at a low rate, but it's increased to guaranteed because of Smoky God. And she has actually a very strong amp as well. And she has extreme defense, and she skill locks the enemies, and it's just like, she counters almost everything in the game. It's kind of ridiculous. And the only issue she has is that she's thrust range. And if you can get over that, and also help her rates with Smoky God, then she just becomes like a god. So that is like, hands down, my strongest team setup, like period, in this entire game is Taromaiti, Smoky God, and Wakan Mugen, and Oz, cool variant. So 3 of those units, not Oz, but the other 3, can be redeemed right now. Very important you consider that. It's a 50% boost rate, yeah. Or rather, her buff removal is like 50% with the concentration, but it's going to be guaranteed with that Smoky God effect. Where's your god? Where's your god now? Yeah, it truly destroys everything. That's my brain dead team for challenge clears now. The only thing she can't really counter is, things that are a bit trickier, which, honestly left her should really smart, tricky quests, like things that require multiple hits or where you're not supposed to hit enemies, stuff like that. Do not get any of the R's. I repeat, do not get them. I know evasion, piercing, sense nice, didn't delete those things earlier, but it's fine. I think for my second ticket, I'm gonna get Gurmakala. I don't recommend this unit to you guys, but I just think he's cute. So, that's a win for basic simplicity. I will recommend in passing some other units as I look over them, but I don't necessarily have notes for everyone, just because it's not something I would, strongly recommend, but I'd still recommend if you already have the other units. Sphinx is quite good. He bestows a damage amp to your own team, reduces the damage by quite a bit from the enemy, and changes everyone into magic range in front of them after he's buffed, which lets you just have the traditional calm clearing team, even if all your units are just not calm clears. I don't think there's any other units I'd strongly recommend. Yeah, I think that's it. There's no one else really that I'd strongly recommend. Kushi's okay. Kushi's still one of the better countdown inflictors in the game. So if you want like a very strong source of countdown, he's not like the absolute best one. The best one would be like Sheena with Oz, but Kushi's like, if you don't want to use Oz and you just need it locally, he's the most reliable source for countdown in the game. They're very good for that. Oh yeah, I removed Ganglie. Ganglie is really good. I made a short about him, and the stream buffering. No, I'm not dropping any frames. It must be on your side. Sorry, it's not working on your side though. But Ganglie is an incredibly strong pick defensively. He's not going to be used for farming at all, but he has a massive amount of defense on his entire team without even needing to move. That used to be so rare, or like essentially every single time you had a tank, they always had to move, even 5 stars. But Ganglie is like a 4-star, and he could give like 2 different defense amps to his allies, and debuff mitigation, and healing without needing to move. Like, what the fuck? He does all of that. And it was like we were like stuck with fucking Mecha Man units that, didn't need to move before, but was only 60% rate. His defense amps to his entire team, including himself, is guaranteed. Like, what the hell? Hopefully it's not buffering any longer for any of you guys. No! I don't know why it's buffering, but I don't see any drop frames. Just let me know what you guys missed. I just talked about Ganglie just now, and I just previously talked about... what did I previously talk about? I mean, you wouldn't have known this thing, right? Sphinx. So Sphinx and Ganglie are quite good. I'm not sure if I'd recommend Sphinx, though, to use for your ticket, but he's quite good if you already have all the other units. Ganglie is definitely a very strong pick, though. Sphinx, if you missed that part, it's just he turns everyone into calm clears. That is, say, magic units in front of him after he's buffed, and he also gives them a damage amp and also greatly reduces the damage of the enemy. He's a very cheeky unit like that, and you can turn all your blow units or your slash units or whatever into calm clears. So, very potent for farming in that sense. No one's gonna recommend Nausea here. There's an anti-Nausea stream. Do not get this Oz. Every time I say Oz, it's not this Oz. It's his variant, okay? Don't get this unit. His base unit is actually quite shit. So no one will ever be talking about his base kit whenever they say use Oz. Yellowstep has good magic damage, but he's a bit unreliable. So be cautious of that if you're looking for magic damage healers. You may have missed that I actually picked up a Gurmakala. I'm not sure if the stream was buffering during that time too. But Gurmakala is not a unit I'd recommend, but I picked him up because I like him, and he's a solid magic damage dealer. I think that's it for my recommendations here. I'm just gonna write them down just in case I don't forget. Oh no, I have them written down. Alright. Anyway, I think that's it for my recommendations. I think Sphinx is the only shaky one I would say out of the ones I mentioned. Everyone else, don't get. So that was a lot. I'll be summarizing this in a video later on, but don't say I didn't provide this information for you early enough or it was too late, because they're right here. Just review this and you can see which ones I recommend. So to do a lightning round on stream, it's going to be Leannan Sidhe, Smoky God, Otohime, Zhurong, Boogeyman, Gurangatch, Yuma, Ganglie, Itzamna, and Taromaiti. Also, maybe Sphinx, but, you might as well just break 3 comic cards at that point. Anyways, we'll move back to... Oh my god, I still haven't spent a ticket. Where am I going to spend this last ticket on? Shit! I'm going to read that chat though. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas while I read the chat on what I should get. Even though I just, said everything. Buffering. Oh my god, don't tell me Sphinx is cheeky. Don't call him that. I mean, he's supposed to be some sort of cheeky rascal that goes riddles, isn't he? I'll talk about his base kit in context of Gurangatch. Yeah, Gurangatch is a very strong kit. Say Summer Oz are... I don't want to say Summer Oz because it's such a mouthful, and no one ever means regular Oz when they say Oz. It was for only a few seconds. You were saying not to get ARs even if you evasion pierce. Oh, I see. Wow, that's for a while. So the ARs, yeah, don't get any of them. They're all garbo. You can always just use a booster instead. If you want an evasion piercer, there's a lot of units that can do now, including units that bestow evasion piercing, which I'll get to in the grab bag. Namely, there's Eta. I'm going to make a very hard defense here for Eta, but he's actually one of the units that can bestow evasion piercing to your allies while contributing himself. Let's see. Licho. I'm not recommending Licho. Licho's kind of like a fun unit if you have a setup and you invest in CP for him, but it's just... So, Licho's strength, he has that ability to bestow all range charge on his allies, but only when he himself is at a high CP range. It's kind of a bit too tricky to set up and only works in certain quests, and I don't know. I feel like it's not worth the effort because there's too many turns in the beginning for it to be set up. Do you have Yuma? I redeemed him. He was one of the 2 units I redeemed so far. I redeemed Gurangatch and Yuma. I'm not sure what to get with my sword. I probably should have thought this before stream. Get Blossoms? Fuck that. Oh yeah, when I was pulling for Summer Behemoths, you also got the Zhurong Pity 4 stars they give you at the end. Nice. You have to spend tickets on what characters you don't even have. Get another Zhurong. I'm tempted. Get honor. Shut the fuck up, Harvey. Get an AR to defy. No. Eta as a unit is quite good. It's the design that got people unhappy. So just close your eyes while I talk about Eta, but open your ears because he's actually a very, 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 very good unit. One of the very, few units from the early game that had Ruckman from the 5-star tickets. But we'll get to that. I might actually take a bit too long thinking of which unit to pick, so I'll have to decide this on my own time. Hopefully I don't forget to spend this last platinum ticket, but for now, I'll just defer from selecting. Yeah, I'll just think on my own time. The debuffing, not he just has skill lock or some shit like that. Just use Taromaiti for that. You don't have Pazuzu 4-star for some reason. Pazuzu is kind of an interesting unit to use because he has that debuff removal on all allies, but it's at a shaky rate. It might be handy to have for challenges, but I don't know. Oh my god, I got DMs for some reason. Streaming right now. Do not interact. Anyways, let me review the next part of the stream, or other notes I have written down. So after the platinum tickets, we are going to be talking about the nomination tickets. So in the same menu, you can access the nomination tickets, also known as the selector tickets. I'm not sure what the English official name is. They still haven't translated it to my knowledge. Right here. So it's this button that has the person sign or the pawn sign on it. You have to do it soon because your emulator errored me, and you have to wait for your email. Like when you got nothing but 3 stars and pulls, so they just give 4 stars, so you mostly already have. Yeah, those suck. Anyways, this is returning from last year. It debuted last year, but it's bewilderingly not including every single 5-star that it did from last year. Anywho, let's see. The cost of the nomination tickets, it's not free, these ones. Okay, first off, the nomination tickets, they let you get limited units from a certain range in the past. And this includes 5 stars and 4 stars, but you'll have to get a separate ticket for the 4 stars and 5 stars. I know the 4 stars seems like a bad deal, so they get given Constellation 3-star selector as well. It's like not worth it. I feel like the 5 stars is the only one really worth it. But if you have money to throw around and you want like a good 4-star along with a good 5-star, I can give recommendations for both. So, the selection will include, or does include, units from 2017. So that's pretty much the first year of Hostmo, excluding Christmas, as well as 2020 and 2021, excluding Christmas from 2020 and 2021 because they want to stick out a middle finger to people like me. I was gonna redeem Christmas Dad, but because they're like, oh, I guess we already have the event this year, they decided not to put those units from Christmas 2020 and 2021 on this banner. So nothing from Sunshine and nothing from Mystic, unfortunately. I really wanted Christmas Dad. He was actually gonna be one of my recommendations, but it was a bit of biased one anyways. Shut the fuck up. No one wants Hephaestus. Hephaestus is not a good unit. And, no amount of, bad takes from alien Shreks will make it any truer or any falser. Anyways, my recommendations for this. I do have them written down too. Let's see. Ticket Exchange for the selectors. Alright. So we'll start off with the 4 stars I'll be recommending. This is going to be starting off with... where the fuck is he? Virtual Summer Memory Algernon. He used to be like a do-nothing unit, but now he got this one effect that's pretty good. It's not something amazing that I would buy it for, but essentially what he does is he gives everyone on the board a 1.5 times amp as long as they don't have debuffs, which is pretty much 99% of the time. So it's very, very strong in terms of, if you just want a board-wide amp. Because board-wide amps on 4 stars are quite rare. Next to that, he also does some purification stuff and debuff removal stuff. It's not really worth remembering, but the 1.5 times amp is nice to have. So that's my main recommendation for Aizen, for Algernon. The next recommendation is going to be Aizen. He is the king of the greatest of all time unit of removing debuffs in the game. It's only granted at an 80% rate, but what he does is for every unit around him, he removes 3 different debuffs. But you're rarely ever gonna get more than 2 debuffs per unit. So essentially he removes all the debuffs every turn start from all your allies as long as they're near him. Which means you can just say goodbye to debuffs. He doesn't the cost is he actually steals them for himself and removes 1 from himself. But as long as you're not letting Aizen get hit, then you're permanently just, removed from debuffs forever. It's very, very strong unit for debuff management. I don't think there's any stronger unit in the game for debuff management than Aizen. So definitely greatest of all time to consider. The main caveat with getting Aizen is that he, the quests themselves don't actually have debuffs all the time. So that's just the main draw of it. Most of the time, quests don't have debuffs as an issue, but when they are, Aizen is definitely the king for that. The next unit I'd recommend, it would have been Kotaro, but he's not featured this year because fucking Life Hunters. It's going to be Halloween Kushi. However, this is going to be with a big asterisk. Halloween Kushi is currently the best unit for one very specific strategy. And it's a pretty funny strategy, but it's ultimately mostly going to be a meme in the end. The strategy is using Oz with a 5-star regular Shino, who can inflict countdown guaranteed on phase turn 1. Usually it's just within its range, but with Kushi and with Oz, you can give it to the entire board, and Kushi amplifies damage over times or dots by, I believe, 3 times. So countdown being the massive fuck all it is at 20,000 damage, if you bring Kushi with you and Oz, then every unit on the board will be taking 60,000 damage. This is slightly helped by the new unit as well, Quantum. We'll talk more about her later, but she also has a very strong amp that almost rivals Countdown. It's halfway the damage of Countdown if they have poison, but what's it called? It's I lost my train of thought, damn it. He also pairs well as Zhurong is a thing, and I don't know whether Quantum or Zhurong is a good choice, because at least with Zhurong, you can refresh Countdown for much more turns. But with Quantum, you can just get that additional amp. But yeah, Kushi either way is just the god of amping damage, because the other one is Tindalos and you have to move him and it's only at 11 range. So yeah, strong pick just for that one feature. For otherwise what is normally irrelevant damage, but in that feature he's quite good. Alright, my next recommendation for the 4 stars, and my last one, is going to be Where is this bitch? Arachne. So Arachne, you may have seen this unit used in my own teams if you saw me do any farming before. She gives attack up to units 1 box to her right, or surrounding 1 box to her right. It's a bit hard to explain, but essentially, as long as you slot her in slots 1 or 3, she can guaranteedly, without any skill seeding or anything, give attack up to her allies, all her allies, in tall maps. So that just makes her a very strong utility unit for tall map farming, because getting amp on all your allies immediately on turn 1 has traditionally been a bit of a hassle. There's a lot more better choices now for that, but Arachne is still a very solid choice for you to plug and play and turn off your brain just for a free amp. Nice to have. So think of her as just like Algernon, except for tall maps. I'll read up the chat before I give my 5-star recommendations. Snow, me want it! No, don't get snow. Don't get snow. Well written. I spent just for the 5 stars. Look, I am pretty fucking poor, right? It may not have been the best decision for me to get the ticket here, but I saved a lot of money this year because I'm pretty fucking poor. I feel like I deserve to splurge on one thing. I didn't splurge on eating out. I didn't splurge on groceries. I didn't splurge on, like, too many video games anyways. Maybe just like once every 4 months. And essentially, I don't really spend it all. So this is the one time I'm just like, fuck it. I want to treat myself up. I'll probably do it for the grab bag too, but we'll see. The suggestion is get Wakan. We'll get to it. Calm your horses. Calm your horses. Jeez. Some for faces. You guys are so funny. Ha 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 ha. Someone said Typhon's variant wasn't an exchange shell for some reason. It's not. It's just units from 2017, 2020, and 2021, excluding Christmas 2020 and 2021. You'd have gotten Christmas Nomad if he was real. Yeah. Thank goodness they didn't X Valentine Gunzo. You just finally finished the Yoyogi collection. Nice. Shaking your damn head. No Christmas Showdown units and Ben 10s in the anniversary. I mean, that's a pretty recent event. It still hasn't even had its first reprint yet. Calm down. You're forced to eat lean pork. Someone go roast you again this year. That's tough. He is a decent. I gave out the review for him. His short is yet to be released, I believe, but there's a decent review for him in the actual reprint evaluation video I released. He's like a solid comp player for sure. Has a lot of utility effects between evasion, piercing, and strong damage amp for the amount of turns you need him for, and movement, extend movement. So he's not a bad unit for sure. He's cute. Honestly, you would definitely get this if you could redeem Wakan Tanka Fashionista. That's no, I mean, please don't. I know you like him. I guess, you know, if you like them, that's always the main priority, right? I should have started off per face with that. If you like them, always get them. So even though the exchange lasts for 29 days, you can only buy the tickets in the next 7, I believe. Or rather next, until the end of the next weekend, so maybe like 13-ish days. So be wary about that. Made fun of when I'd farm unit EXP with Blossom quests. Meanwhile, during the stream, you already got 2 full dungeon sources of EXP. Okay. I'm actually excited to see the new dungeon, but we'll get to that. Better not spoil anything, RB. He's exchangeable because the last 5-star pay ticket you could exchange it for was Wakan. You don't care? Alright, you want Summer Behemoth's barbecue beef. He's available to summon. Good luck with that. He's only 4-star. He's very strong. I gave him a very high rating too. Definitely essential, especially if you Shiva, but he's so good that you can just borrow a Shiva at that point to enjoy the same effects. But yeah, anyways. To the 5-star recommendations. So, we are going to be starting off with someone that everyone will just ignore me for, but I don't care. I'm gonna take a lot of time talking about it. I'm recommending Eita. He is like Christmas Nomad in that he is a centerpiece unit for tall maps. Okay, so what he does is he bestows evasion piercing to all his allies, and he changes his own weapon now to short range, and he deals decent damage, and he also has some decent damage amp. But the most important part is he turns everyone 2 squares left and 2 squares right of him into short range. So that means if you have some strong units that are slash units but are lacking comp clears, you can use Eita instead to turn them into short range units so that you can start comp clearing with things like Musashi or Hogan, for example. So they can actually do damage in the range you want. They're very impressive in that sense. And he's just very good utility for like event quests as well when he is featured, because he can just turn any shit event units that have poor range into column clears. So very, very, very big recommendation. I know no one's gonna get it, but I'm gonna say right now, he's like one of the strongest column clear centerpieces in the game, right next to Nomad and Kurugane and maybe Masashi, but I'm still, you know, my thoughts aren't fully formed on the new units yet. Y'all hear something? Yeah, you're hearing a masterpiece in the works here. Chef's kiss. Hate to not be humans, who cares? The one thing worse than long slash? Boom, a child. Well, you can turn a long slash into shot with this child. How do I turn on summer behemoths? I don't know, I'm reading this right now. Anyways, moving on to the next part. I would have recommended Shira before. He's actually available now, but I'm not recommending anymore because of the new news of 2020 and 2020, and so there's just better units to redeem at this point. So the one I'm going to recommend next off is going to be a Valentine Kengo. So this unit is a hyper carry for challenges as well as dungeons. Granted, you can always just borrow a Kengo in dungeons, and in fact you should. He can equip the Beast Tamer's EXP booster AR, and he is actually the optimal unit to bring for dungeons when you're leveling multiple units at a time. Of course, the optimal unit to bring when you're just leveling a single unit is just going to be either Triton or either Triton or a Vargo with their respective boosters, but Kengo is actually optimal when you're leveling multiple units. So consider that. For challenges, I didn't even talk about what he does. He's a massive damage dealer and a Guts tank. I know Guts tanking sounds kind of shit, but he's actually like the only good unit that really does it, and he does it extremely well, because he has a chance of getting Guts every time he's buffed, and he gives himself a bunch of buffs, and he's a move slot, but he resists so much movement disabling effects. He resists fear and paralysis, so he's good for both dungeons. And he removes debuffs every time he moves, so he has less of a chance of having his own damage reduced. And he has limit. He reduces his own HP, which works very well with his Guts. And because of that limit and his infinitude stacks, he's just dealing massive damage that can also just stack with other units in Hampton. So very, very strong recommendation. Next off the bat is going to be... I'm surprised they're even... I really never expected they would release these units this year, because these units are far, far stronger than like the previous years. Okay. Summer River Shiva. So, before the ages of Oz and Wakan Tanka and Smoky God and Taromaiti, we had the Shiva meta. Shiva is the god of destroying things in all range. And this is true for both his base form as well as his variant. They do it in slightly different ways, though. For his variant, which I'll be talking about now, you have to move him so that he has his actual damage amp for himself. And you also... He has extended movement for one turn, so he can get to the center of boardwide maps to, best have, his damage in the middle of his range. He does hit everyone, but his damage is actually more concentrated towards the center because of his burn advantage in the center he inflicts. That is not to the entire board. And he doesn't have any utility like evasion piercing or anything like that, so keep that in mind. That's his main drawback, where he starts to falter behind things like a Taromaiti Oz setup. But he's very strong nonetheless, and he is... What's it called? He can equip some of the piercing ARs as well, because he's blow range natively. And he is a warmonger, so he can actually benefit from guild affiliations by quite a bit, unlike Taromaiti, who doesn't have a guild. So, actually, I think... I'm sure about it. Yeah, okay. So I already have Eta, and I already have Wakan Mikan, and I already have all the strongest... Somehow, I actually have almost all the units I'm recommending right now. The only one I don't have is Summer River Shiva. So I'm actually going to get him right now with the ticket I purchased before the stream. So again, it costs the same cost as a monthly pack one. Still kind of pricey. It was like under $30 for this. At least in Canadian. I don't know how much it is there, but it varies from region to region. But I deserve a treat, Fuck this. Probably not going to use them as much as Wakan Mugen, but I want to be able to taste how good it is. Now my Shiva collection is complete. I have both base Shiva and regular Shiva. Time for the degeneracy. Anyways, the next topic on the list is going to be... Oh man, did I forget to include them? Alright, I guess I'll have to write a note on that later, because I didn't write this note there. Yeah, it's going to be... What the fuck is he? Naiko's Kurugane. So, Kurugane, this is gonna be a big asterisk, but he's like the best unit in the game for one specific quest. Like, he's not amazing in other quests. He still has his utility in those other ones, but he's like straight up the best unit for one quest. One very relevant quest, depending on who you ask, but it's like a choice of if you want to do it or not. It's the Coin Scuffle quest. And the Coin Scuffle quest is something that some people choose to farm, but others don't. Right now, we have this paradigm of choice between whether you should prioritize Coin Scuffles or prioritize free quest farming, or both, find a middle ground. Right now, I've abandoned Coin Scuffle farming, so he's no longer useful to me, and have now chosen to stay with free quest farming. However, people like Irby have chosen to instead give up free quest farming and stick with Coin Scuffles due to the increased level cap and the coin need. You can still get coin from my free quests, was my argument, even if it's not as much. But yeah, Naiko's Kurugane is the best unit for coin farming in the game because he depletes all the enemy's HP guaranteeably. Like, he doesn't deplete it for every quest, but because they have so little HP on that quest, everyone has less than 8,000, and he reduces 8,000 HP, so everyone just goes straight to 1 HP, and it doesn't matter if they get evasion later because you can still like do enough damage to kill them after that point. If you have Kurugane, you can just bring a bunch of mobs after to kill the rest of the units. He is the best unit in the game for Coin Scuffles, so consider that strongly if you actually farm that. Alright, moving on. We are going to be talking about... Oh man, this stream is actually going on for quite a long time. Well, I should figure with these recognitions. Well, I forgot to mention, he is useful for other things. Sometimes I use him for challenges, just because, like Masashi, he was the original who did this, of course, he gives everyone extended movement. This is useful if you like want to have move over Oz to the rest of your teammates for whatever reason. Sometimes I do that when I'm doing like a Shino Oz setup and I want to bring him closer to the rest of his team. And Kurugane is there to, you know, help Oz move further, for example. So he gives everyone extended movement, so that's very nice to have. And he also pushes the enemy back, which can be quite cheesy if he inflicts break at the same time. So that you'll just be pushing them back infinitely while, you know, holding them in place. You can't do much about it if they have the enemy has snipe range too, though. Anyway, very, very good unit. Next off the bat is going to be Xolotl. So Xolotl is quite the staple damage amp unit board-wide. He gives crit, but in a very unconventional way. He gives an ability that lets allies bestow crit to themselves after they move. And this ability is given board-wide. So it's very strong for units, board wipers, that already need to move, or prefer to move, such as the live streamer or the Shiva I just redeemed. Thankfully I already have Xolotl, so this is going to work out quite well with each other. It does not work out well with most other board wipers that require you not move them, though, such as with Oscar or like Ben 10, for example. So, interesting paradigm there. I know I'm talking about board wipers, but that crit can work with any sort of setup. It'll just be the unit you do choose to move, though, so keep that in mind. I am very strong in that sense. He originally released, this is a bit of a history lesson, but he originally released with like speculative birth, and he would get better eventually. After the release of Summer River Shiva's evolution and what's called live streamer, Xolotl just got the glow up. Even if he didn't get an evo, he did become strong because other units become strong. That's the good thing about strong support units. They become even stronger as better units come out. Audience, this man doesn't even do coin scuffles. Ignore the Nightglow's Kurugane. I used to spam them the fuck out of them. You can watch my streams, alright? The evidence is already there. It's already well done. It's just, I can't, like, I will argue for free quest farming over coin quest farming, but ultimately it depends on your priorities. It's very difficult for me to say 100% that free quest farming is just always better than coin quest farming. But for me, and for my purposes, it is. Okay. The last unit I'll recommend is going to be what everyone was waiting for and what everyone couldn't shut their mouth about first. It's going to be Wakan Tanka Mugen. So, Wakan Tanka Mugen. He's the best unit in the game. Like, I mean, Oz is too, but like, Wakan Tanka Mugen straight up is Exodia. What do I mean by Exodia? he doesn't work by himself to be the best, but once you have the right units with him, he's just straight up the best unit in the game. That team setup I mentioned earlier was Wakan Tanka Mugen and Smoky God and Oz and Taromaiti. That is Exodia. So you can redeem Wakan Tanka Mugen, and you can redeem Smoky God and Taromaiti from the Platinum Exchange, and then you'll have 3 pieces of the 4. Hopefully you redeemed Oz during the last time you printed, and then you'll just have the most fucking unbeatable setup in the game. It has some weaknesses, such as when you need to hit an enemy multiple times, or if you actually need like boss killing damage, for example. So it's not the best setup for example, if you're doing refrain quests, or if you're doing the Warmonger's quest, because what's it called? Losing my train of thought here. Oxygen, please. Because those are more technical and you're straight up deny damage after that point. But if you can get by with damage and direct counters to evasion and guts and skill, revival, and have it board wide and just everything, Wakan Tanka is the starting piece because he just makes so much possible. You don't even need to do that specific Exodia piece. He works with so many combinations of themes to make it stronger. Even him by himself, you plug it into play and he gives like a greater than 4 times amp on the entire board. It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, he's definitely the strongest unit in the game right now, or strongest 5-star. Yeah, Wakan Tanka Mugen is like, he's actually just better than River Shiva. You'll still need a board wiper, so if you prefer board wiper and you're lacking one, maybe get River Shiva instead. But Wakan Tanka, for all intents and purposes, is like, his utility is not, like, there's nothing else that comes close to it. I'm going to read the comments now, the chat for a bit. Hazel never had a 11 unit, maybe one of these days. Made fun of when you'd say farming unit EXP was, I already read that. He's exchangeable because the last 5-star ticket you got, good exchange for a walk on. Don't care about summer behemoth. I really read a lot of these already. Yes, Kengo super strong, definitely get him. Gut spam will save your life. Maybe I forgot to emphasize this, but Kengo in challenges, he's a solo carry. He's the strongest solo carry in the game, arguably. His next competitor is going to be Anvari, who does bigger damage. But keep in mind, Anvari's guts is only 1 time per phase. He does have some countermeasures, but he still has to take the full blunt of damage before he inflicts things like skill lock and curse. So that's Anvari's drawback. So it's like between Kengo and Anvari, you could say either one is the strongest solo carry. But yeah, they definitely solo carry a lot better than units like Dagon, who can survive a lot but does like 0 damage. A water summer unit having a center damage sweet spot? Where have you heard that before? Yes, Boogeyman. Oh, Boogie baby, what happened to you? Check out my review on him if you don't know what I'm talking about. I had Summer Shiva for so long and didn't even get him from his original banner. Oh, did he get it from the grab bag? Lucky you. Still cheaper than Pokemon DLC. That sucks. Not the Shiva shilling. I mean, I already have Xolotl, and honestly, besides Oz and fucking live streamer, I don't have board wipers. Like Kotaro every 4 turns if I commit 3 units to giving him enough CP maybe. But that was like, I don't have every turn native board wipers. Besides like Oz and live streamer. So it's nice to finally have a proper one that's coming into it with good damage. Shiva propaganda, the coin grind. Warmonger's affiliation arc. I'll probably invest in them eventually, but yeah, Night Ghost Kurugani is definitely a must pick, but with affiliations, it might be possible to just clear it even without Night Ghost. It's fine. But a guaranteed setup, there's a lot of ways you can get it nowadays, but Night Ghost Kurugani was definitely the king for coin scuffles. You have Hot Springs Xolotl too, Simone. Nice! So if you have those two, you have an overwhelmingly strong board wipe setup. It's not going to be as strong as Oz, Smoky God, Wakan, and all that, but at least you have a more flexibility since, you're not as locked in. Well, you're never locked in with Wakan since there's a lot of teams you can build with them, unlike Shiva. Once on Xolotl was pretty cracked prior to Summer Shiva. I heard he was pretty cracked, but he was not like a staple that you always have to remember. The only thing that was lacking was like, board wipers to go with them with extreme damage. And now we do have it with Shiva and with live streamer with Summer's affiliation boost. I feel like there's more board wipers than that, but you get the idea. People saying he was bad were just coping for not getting him. I never said he was bad, but I remember distinctly on stream You know, he was just like only speculatively useful, and I talked about it too. Shadow the Hedgehog Club member. What are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about Wakan Tanka again. He's happy, even if he doesn't look like it. His entire thing is about only holding happy memories. Welcome Mugen users when he hits the slime. No, anything but the slime. Well, you know, you can move out of the way. And plus, it's Welcome Mugen. Welcome Mugen is not the one who's actually going to be board wiping. No, just remember you're poor. Anyways, that concludes the section for the paid stuff. I know some of you tuned out because you don't want to spend money, and that's fine. You can get by easily in this game. Honestly, like, as much as I recommend all these busted ass units, it's like, you can find Welcome Mugen on support, you can find Summer Shiva on support. It's not going to be optimal for various reasons, but it's like, just to clear, as I was mentioning earlier, it's very easy to do in this game. To optimize is what's difficult, and you can do that over time. And just, anyways, we'll move on. Eita's good. Eita's good. Get him. I know none of you have him. Get him. I know you guys probably already have the rest. Did you forget the Mentor 3 stars? Oh yeah. So there is a Selector 3 star. None of them are worth it except for Triton if you don't already have him. Like, I'm not even going to talk about his kit. It's fucking garbage. He has magic range, I guess. But the only reason you want him is because he can equip the Beast Tamers they are. Which you can now redeem from the Platinum ticket if you want to do that. So he is the optimal unit to bring on support besides Varga. And he's also optimal to bring because, you know, as long as you have all the EXP boosters, then with Triton equipping that Beast Tamers there, as the only mentor that can equip the R, you are able to reach the maximum EXP boost that's currently available. That might not be true in the future as more EXP boosts are released. Keep that in mind, but for now, yeah, he's optimal just for that reason. The rest of his kit shut sucks. I'm not going to talk about the rest. You have both Triton and Jin this year, actually. Nice. Jin's also mentor, but he can't equip the thing, so whatever. Wakan Mugen, it's like, why would get these? I don't know why you get these. Just get the 5-star ticket instead to redeem them. Tongar Mugen's also quite good, but like not enough that I'd recommend you buy him. Oh gosh, that was a lot of recommendations. There's gonna be a video on this later, but again, review this section if you want to know what you talked about early. Actually, let's do that right now. I'm gonna summarize very quickly what I just said. Okay, shut up, Solomon, please. So my recommendations, again. Yeah, I'll time stamp the stream as usual always, but I know... I got so upset when I saw a bunch of people saying, understandably, well, what should I redeem this year? Or what's worth getting from tickets? Because I was so down to prepare for the stream, but I couldn't because Life is like, you have one day until the moon collapses. So I don't have time because so many things are happening. Anyway, first off, I will be recommending Eita. The Comcares, yeah. Then next off, I'll be recommending Kengo. Valentine's Kengo. Very good. Next off, I'll be recommending maybe I should say it. Summer Shiva, who is a board wiper after you move him. And next off, I will be recommending Onsen Xolotl, who is a damage amp, as you talked about. And last but not least, I'll be recommending Wakan Tanka Mugen, who spreads all his buffs to the entire board. I can't find them for some reason. So Wakan Mugen, Onsen Xolotl. There you go. So that's... Oh yeah, and also... I forgot to add some spot. Nightglow's Kurgani. There you go. Woo. So you guys might not know this, or maybe you do, depending on your line of work. But if you talk this long, you can actually start feeling your brain lacking oxygen. So I need like a breather for a second. I'm gonna read out the next steps for what I'm going to be talking about. All right. So we talked about the the 2 anniversary tickets. However, there's one other shop we're going to be looking at today, and that is Anvari's shop. So the reason why we're going here, let me just this, give me that. So the reason why we're here is because there's a new item in Anvari's shop. Where is it? This is the token booster AR, so it's not important to get, like, at all. But it is a booster. So I'd recommend you get it, but there's like no rush to get it. It is permanent. It's not going to disappear. It's not limited. But you probably won't really use it, like, ever. Still, I'm not going to get it right away, just because I want to save my shards for next month's tickets so that I can redeem or have more of a chance to pull for Zhurong. But after that month, I'll probably redeem this ticket. You know, might as well. I actually did forget its effect. Let me see what I wrote it down here is. Okay, so this token booster AR, what does it do? Did I not put down all of the... Yeah, I did here. It increases your damage when you're debuffed, so it's actually quite good for... What's it called? Dungeons where you get debuffed naturally. But yeah. That's it, Friend Rider Shop, to be honest. Other than that, we're done with the shop section of this. Bro is the most insane beard. As long as it's something memorable and leaves a strong impression and makes you think, hey, that's a pretty swag-looking pirate or Viking, then I'm down for it. Alright. So we are going to be talking about next off some minor stuff. So, wow. We did get a bunch of new guild decorations, as well as the new AR was given during that, what's called, that scenario from earlier. We'll just redeem this all at once. As you can see, the login campaign has already begun. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So, yeah, the guild decorations. So let's go check them out. I know it's not very important, but whatever. I've been meaning to change this anyways. I love Anniversary, so it's just such as music, and remodel or place of it. Change the background, please, to... That is pretty nondescript. I mean, we can't really see it because of these two quads in a way. Let's move you out of the way, please. Very important gameplay to show this. I'll change this later. Oh, wait. Alright, there you go. Both Fafnir and Jormungandr are now servicing me from under the screen. So this is a new background. We also got some new items. I don't know what they are though. Let's see. Looks like an air cooler. I can't see what this is. I really hate this fucking setup. It's really difficult to see what you're looking at here. A changing room and a snack table. Alright. And last but not least, we have some new stickers, which I don't know what they look like. Stickers kind of suck. I never add them on my things for the most. One... I don't know how many new stickers we have, honestly. 2... 3. Okay, that anniversary one is definitely not something we got last time. But, let's turn this one off. It seems we got Viral Influence sticker, which looks very cool. I think I forgot to mention this, but there's going to be a Viral Influence merch available. So I would actually like to purchase it if I had more money. Maybe one day I'll purchase it, but right now I can't. Because this is a pretty swag sticker, to be honest. You can get it available on a black t-shirt, essentially, is what it is. This one right here. Very cool. Anyway. I'm luring them so that they can be placed in the position where they belong. You should roll for the mashed potato, Kenshi. I'll get to that. It's in my list. I'm not going to forget. Actually, that's the next topic right now. So. We are now going to be talking about the banners. So we'll be starting off with the new 7th anniversary banner, which is featuring 2 new units, both of them limited 5 stars because of course, but also limited 3 stars. It's going to be Masashi, the final Hakenshi of the batch. So, you know, giant middle finger to all the Hakenshi, because it's like all of them have been 4 stars so far, their base kits. And Quantum, who is based off of Schrodinger's cat, as you can see from her motif of that. They actually faded out her dead self so that Masashi could fit. That's funny. I have 666 stones, damn. Anyway, what I think about these units, it has been less than a day since they first came out, so my thoughts on them are not fully collected. But Masashi, to give you an idea of what I think of them, is essentially Nightglow's Kurogane but better for other quests. I don't think they're better for dailies or for coin scuffles anyways, since, you know, it's not just an auto win. But what he does is he massively amplifies the damage in front of him for the 3 columns in front of him. He also has big damage himself. I'm not sure if he actually amplifies the damage for his allies in front of him. Let me see his kit. Oh yeah, he's like, you'd use him exactly like Nyko's Kurogane for the most, except he'd be useful for requests as well. Okay, I'll just look it up over on Discord and open up the thread that I made. He does not provide damage amp to his allies except for blessing strengthening. Okay, that's definitely a thing. Well, he still applies damage to weakness, so that's something to enjoy for the 3 columns ahead of him. Let's see. Do you think Masashi, Smoky God, and Leannan would combo well together? No. What? Why would he even suggest that? What? That doesn't make sense. What? What is that combination? 2 of them are non-range units, and you're gonna be amping just Masashi. His rates aren't that bad that you'd really want to bring, like, Smoky God for it, just for 1 turn. And if you're bringing, like, Masashi, then most likely you're gonna want to bring 3 other column clears. So the traditional column clear setup is actually 3 column clears plus 1 supportive unit. That supportive unit either is exclusively amplifying, or it can be, like, providing additional damage to 1 column, such as with Kalki, or who also provides that debuff removal effect, or buff removal effect, rather. Or does both, in Masashi's case. So yeah, it's a bit weird, but that's kind of what the staple is for snipe units, since they're not always the best damage dealers themselves. Fishing for those after buffs. After buff procs? But are you talking about for Kalki? I don't even remember. If Masashi had any after buff procs. Use Summer Oz for sick guild gains. I mean, sure. You can see that for anyone. Any vertical map is Creaking Fear. Well, I don't know, I'm reading this out right now. Anyways, to continue, Quantum is a bit of a weird unit, but essentially she has the 2nd strongest dot in the game now. It is conditional though. You need to have poison on the enemy, which is exceedingly rare for whatever reason. And if the enemy has poison, then they'll be taking an additional 10,000 flat damage per turn, or per end of turn rather. So she has this thing on her 5-star where if she... It's difficult scene. She switches between an on state and an off state, just like the cat is live or dead. She's either none or she's all, and in her none state she inflicts on like 1 square in thrust range away some effect that when they're hit after she misses, then they will spread poison and confusion and darkness to all the enemies. So a bunch of debuffs, including the activating poison, which is good. But that's like the only way she can activate poison on 5-star. For a 3-star, which is actually kind of interesting, she's blow ranged only there, but she straight up just inflicts poison directly after she attacks, which is quite good if you're pairing her up with Oz in that case, so she can just inflict poison on everyone immediately for that flat damage. I mean, this is a bit itchy. Remind me while I moisturize my nose, but alright. But yeah. So that is Quantum's off state. Her on state is all range. She doesn't actually board wipe too much damage. She has like weakness, but the main thing she's supposed to do, I'm guessing, is after she like depletes all the enemy's HP, is then afterwards on turn after they'll all have 1 HP and then she'll just wipe them all. I think that's the game plan with her anyways. But she's not gonna be someone you're gonna be farming with for the most, unless you want to like wait a few turns. But 10,000 is definitely enough to get rid of like, you know, weaker mobs. Unfortunately, Ifrit and Fenrir did not get an evolution, so big L if you don't get the 5 stars or the 3 stars here. Mashed Potato has 50% after buff CP. Ew. Who cares? What the fuck? You could use Shenong. No one wants to use Shenong. Please don't use Shenong. I mean, he's okay for boardwide, but like, if you're using... I don't know. It could be okay, but like, you might as well just use 3-star Quantum in that case with Oz. By the way, She Summoners, of course, the first girl of the guild is an unshot. Why is everyone so salty about that? Like, chill, guys. Summoner is not beating the daycare allegations. Anyways, I will be pulling for this, but not too much because I am saving for Christmas Zhurong. I feel like it's that reprint is holding me by the balls so badly because I really wanted to pull more for Behemoths, but I was just like, no, I'll just save for Zhurong instead. Same for this banner, but I'm not going to be able to pull too much. So I'm going to ration 10 tickets and call it a day from there. My targets are going to be 3-star Quantum and 3-star Masashi, so I'll stop if I get both of them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do this. I don't know, I'm reading nothing. Woo! Thirsty. It's Tindlos time. Now you're Tindlos too. Did you forget or Fenrir? Jump fun. You remember when people were saying Summer Shenong was the best unit? Well, people equated big damage with strong strength back then. And that's simply not true in isolation. If you take like 10 million turns to build up your charge, doesn't matter if you have the strongest charge on game, it's just like you can get by with less damage to clear faster. But you don't want to be Tindlos' father. Well, too bad. Asterius. I actually did have 7 more tickets before the stream began, well before the stream began. I pulled for Mystic Christmas yesterday. You know why? Because River Shiva was announced, and I was like, it would actually be work pretty well with him to take care of Ramu. But instead I got C3, which is something, I guess. Forest Mask. Send to you. Big L for me if I don't get them, but it's whatever. I'm sure they'll reprint eventually by sometime next year on their own. Katsuga. Prospect is probably one of the few characters just flat out done dirty. The plain as Shane character. Hey Ren, how's the 7th anniversary banner for everyone? Miniaki is answering your question for you. Alright, 2 more tickets left. It's unlikely I'll get both at this point. Claude. Right. You guys, please remind me that I still have 1 ticket left over at the end of the stream. I don't really know what to spend it on, but I need to make sure I don't forget to spend it. Wow, that was nothing at all. Unfortunately, I will not be able to spend any more because I'm saving the rest for Zhurong. Zhurong. Anyways, next off the bat, we're going to talk about the reprint banners. I mean, is this even necessary? I already released a video on this. Okay, so I'll just briefly cover the entire banner, not even the individual units. Snowfight has some good 5 stars. The 4 stars are kind of garbo. So only if you... And the 5 stars are only like speculatively useful, so pull for it if you already have what you want from the other 2 banners. But this is definitely the first banner you'll want to drop. Actually, there's actually another banner you want to drop. I forgot to mention this at the end of my video. Efkare. This is the banner you'd want to least pull for. Fafnir is actually like the strongest buff hoarder in the game now, but everyone else is pretty mid, so it's just like if you're going to be pulling for just 1 5-star, your odds aren't great for it. He is very good, Fafnir, but yeah. Anyways, Jurassic has the best overall units, so if you just want, like, you know, to dump a bunch of stones and get a bunch of good units, then any of these variants, except for typically Space Kit, is like good to have out of them. Plus, Labe is actually just like the best overall unit, the CR. Even if they don't have anything new that's super unique, they just have a bunch of good things that already exist that makes them very powerful, which is why I rated them higher than, for example, Behemoth. And Behemoth, on the other hand, is probably the strongest unit you can get for a 4-star from any of these banners. And that means you can, if you manage to snag it early, you can get away free with it. a very powerful unit. It's only, you know, not going to be quite as useful as Labe, but he is essential just because he does that one thing with Shiva where he enables that boardwide charge, and he also has that extremely overpowered boss killing charge if he managed to build it up. I don't know why he has that. Everyone else is kind of like mid-ish. Gurangatch is actually better, but yeah. So it wouldn't be bad if you got Gurangatch actually. Arsenal's okay. Dagon's kind of a shit hyper carry, but he can carry, even if it's a bit shit. So those are my thoughts on the reprint banners, as well as the 7th anniversary banner, which I didn't get anything. Great. I just needed a bit more luck in my life. Alright, next on the list of topics is... Right. So I'm going to be talking about the half stamina campaign. I believe it's just half stamina for free quests and not dailies. Yeah, fuck dailies. So it seems that there's also, I can't confirm it here, but there's going to be a quarter stamina, I believe, for the main quest, even though there's no new main quest released. So if you haven't continued the story yet, now's a good time to do it. But right now, I'll just do a demonstration of my team. I'll be farming this later on Friday, I believe I scheduled it for. The Sea quest. I don't have the Blossom quest from Chapter 14 locked because I didn't do Chapter 14. But the Sea quest here is actually the best Sea quest in the entire game. Even better than the Blossom quest from Chapter 14. That one's better for Blossoms, but it's actually worse for Seeds after you start using boosters. So I'll give a demonstration of what you'll be seeing right now. So my go-to is Anvari post Evo with the Seed booster. And with this setup, I'll show you how I maximize on coin through Anvaris, 2 of them, as well as Lucky Cat, and the Guildmaster, or rather the Tycoon's AR, as well as a rank EXP with the Summoner's AR, Summoner's Anniversary, as well as the Tycoon's AR, as well as C Boost with the Crafter's Workshop AR, as well as the Curator's Invaders AR, and the Outlaws AR. So yeah, this entire setup, it's not guaranteed one-shot for anything. In fact, I can't one-shot everything as guarantee, but it has maxed bonuses, so I don't care. Or rather, I do care, but what are you gonna do? This will give you a demonstration of how strong Wakan Tanka is. Unfortunately, I'm using only 3-star Smoky here because I don't have enough team space. I would need to reach rank 1-3 to do it. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to stream this the last time we had a half-stam campaign because it's just like I was busy actually recording the story. Also, let's fucking turn off those effects, please. So the battle plan here is I'm moving Oz either in front of or behind Anvari. I move him behind in this phase so that he doesn't, you know, they don't get pushed out of position by Wakan Tanka. And Wakan Tanka's buff spread is guaranteed by Smoky God's glint, and he's also able to spread his buffs, that glint as well, to Oz. Although Oz already gets anyways. But yeah, it helps out quite a bit. So I move them like this in this following turn. And this will be able to board wipe everyone except for Ramu, of course, who has just a shit ton of defense buffs. And at this point, either I get lucky or unlucky. I got unlucky here because it's a 50-50 on whether Anvari gets his possession and gets best. And so at this point, I just have to wait it out. And believe it or not, 3-star Smoky comes in clutch in this setup. All I have to do is just wait until that phase while chipping them down slowly. Because it's not quite enough by itself, but Smoky God, after a certain amount of turns, will inflict countdown on everyone. And that splat damage will actually help me clear Ramu reliably. So this is my setup. It's a bit dumb, but it's guaranteed. So yeah, he has countdown on our entire team, which sucks, but it's also on Ramu now. So we're gonna check this one more time. This is my clearing setup that has max boost. And because of that countdown, I'm able to clear him by turn 8. So it's a lot more pleasant now with the speed update. That'd be kind of extreme pain and I might not even be farming without it. But Yeah.
君に
Very,
怪
very
我
good.
がないならよかった。
Alright. We'll just go ahead and use all our stamina for this because there's no other quest we'll be really doing that requires stamina, that is. All this talking's making me dehydrated. Dry skin and all that. Hopefully I get lucky in this next attempt. Don't worry, I'm only going to be doing it twice because that's all the stamina I have. I'll be actually using drinks for the proper farm stream, which I'll be doing on Friday. So that will begin, I believe, at 7 p.m. So some of you guys should be free at that point since it is a Friday as well as, what's it called? It's a Friday and it's also late in the evening. So 7 p.m. ET. I think I moved them in the wrong position. Ugh, this is such a bad position. No, it's fine, it's fine. There you go. Smoky God there actually has movement resistance, not that it matters, but it helps out so that he's not pulled up and Wakan is tethered there and can keep on hitting him at max range, so that Ramu is better chipped. Okay, so I got lucky this time, and that means I can just immediately clear Ramu next. Alright, so look forward to that on Friday. I'm gonna wait to chat a bit before I continue the next part. Forest Mask is cute. That is definitely an opinion. Got both Quantum's 3 and 5 stars and Masashi's 3 star. Nice! 6 Montes, not so nice. He pulled Tanatomo so many times, he's bad. Yeah, he's not good. The only thing he's good for is like combo, which, you know, when you need combo it's good, but you rarely need combo unless you're like facing the Warmongers for some reason. Summer has been the season of power creep. Oz, Behemoth, Lave Shiva, the Boogeyman exists. Behemoth is definitely a power creep. Oz is not even featured here, so I don't know why you're bringing him up. But if you're talking about just summers in general, I guess it's been good lately. Lave is not a power creep by any means. It's just he brings a bunch of utility that's good to have overall and combines it into one. Lave is actually unique because I will not call him essential at all. He just has a lot of everything in terms of what already exists. Shiva, I mean, he's existed for ages, but yeah. You're not pulling next year until Life Wonders reprints Summer Behemoth. Wow, that's quite the patience then. Your rolls were pretty good. 5-star Quantum, Summer Dagon, Summer Behemoth, and Banfier. Very nice. That's you really stupidly spent everything you had though. Ugh. What are you looking at? You saw a masterpiece. I feel like I forgot to switch to live chat, so if I'm missing any comments, that would be unfortunate. Whew. Anywho, we are going to continue off with the next portion of the stream. We're not quite done yet. We're gonna finish off the gameplay portion of the stream with the new dungeon, which I actually don't know what it's about yet. Lay power creeps and roll compression, known as debuff negation and damage amp and personal damage like him. It's a bit of a stretch to say, you know, he power creeps and roll compression, but I'll allow it. He definitely does that. So there is a new dungeon with a new scenario. I'm not going to be doing this scenario anytime soon. But as you can see, there's a new scenario. We're not going to be doing it. Not that we can. As well as a bunch of these. I have 2 stamina, but I'm just not going to do the easy ones right away. I'll do them on my own time. We're going to start off with the hard one. It seems Yukimura is finally featured. And what are the mobs here? Oh, it's the Tycoon mobs. Nice to see them again. Yaksha for some reason. Yeah, this is why I wrote them down, because I feel like I forgot to do like dungeon last time. There was an anniversary with a new one. Alright, let's try it out. So I did switch up my team since I was leveling in Variety before, but I feel like my lack of knowledge on the quest is not going to fly in this case. So I'm just going to bring Boogeyman, who's obviously an omega strong hyper carry that can beat everything. Not really. But it'll at least increase my chances of passing. So we're going to bring ourselves a Triton support, of course. Kirby's a really bad one. And we're going to bring this team. I haven't pre-arranged the ARs quite yet, so I'll do that right now. I'm not sure if I can stall that well with this quest with those long slash units, so I'm actually gonna take off this AR, the token booster, which builds up his charge quickly, that usual line, and I'll swap it out with this AR. And the reason I want to do this is actually to equip another token booster, which might be more useful, which is going to be this AR. This AR removes all debuffs to the slash range from them, give them a resistance to debuffs actually, or damage reducing specifically. That'll be good. Okay, hopefully this works out. We're gonna switch to these two so that it's Boogeyman who immediately has his damage reduction, or damage down resistance. Alright, blind clear, let's do this. What are the gimmicks of this? Gonna be interesting to see. Oh wait, let's hear the music first. Everyone shut up. Shut up, everyone.
ガタガタ震えろ悪ガキ。二人きりだな。二人きり。まだまだ。
Oh my god. Japanese war battle music? Damn. Oh my god, why is the dungeon music always so good? Holy shit. Granted, it's not what I expected for the Pongi Tycoon specifically, since I don't really get the Japanese vibe from them. I'm watching a lot of anime lately. One of them is like the Apothecary Diaries, and you know, there's quite a few timepieces from anime in general. So this really is vibing on that. Maybe it's not quite as good, but maybe it'll grow on me over time. I still think it's very good. All right, so looking at the effects here, it's not guild related, exception related. Oh yeah, Yukimura, you're right. I mean, it was related for every other guild, right? With you know, the missionaries having that church music, and the what's called the Ikebukuro Coliseum having that battle Coliseum music. I guess, but yeah, you're right. It perfectly fits Toji then. Oh god, don't tell me bind's gonna be a problem here. That's gonna be so ass. Please no bind and oh god, worst nightmare ever. I'm gonna do something bananas here and actually not move dead. Actually, never mind. I'm gonna move dead. Should I move dead? I don't know. Okay. The world does reduce damage to me, so I'm gonna do this instead. Okay, there's a limit. We're gonna move you over here. Yukimura never fitted the Tycoons at all. I guess that was out of place just because, what's it called? Toji is not kind of a weirdo, to begin with. Oh my god, what is this face? Alright, how to best handle this? We are going to... do this. No bind, please. Please no bind. Okay, good. I still don't know what the effects are, but hopefully it's not bind. That would be terrible if it was. That's why you don't farm seeds. You're now forced to spend attack seeds on Klaus. What the fuck? Are you saying there's flat damage here? I haven't experienced it yet. I mean, isn't that already the missionaries I haven't seen a single skill activate from any of these guys. I'm gonna need to hear everyone's thoughts on it after. Not now though. I want to see if it happens to me eventually. All right, we are going to toss deadweight Gene to the left to stall those fuckers, and we're gonna go ahead and no. Oh gosh, no! It's too difficult for me to move with fucking mouse. Okay, whatever, this worked out for me in the end. I missed the fairy like 10 million times. God damn it, I'm not used to using this. Oh my god, they have bind! Okay, it works out for me. You go and stay go there while we stall. Look, Kirby! The Triton meta! He's doing so much. Gross. I did not expect bind though. That's pretty fucked up. How many more turns for this bind? There's somewhere, okay. If you're using for a reflective buff, he didn't activate it, so he sucks. Well, that's the first mechanic we learned about. I'm surprised we haven't really seen any other, but bind is pretty horrendous to have. Like, seriously, that's pretty horrendous to have on every phase, even as a tiny chance. Since they have large range, right, you can't avoid it. I don't know about these guys, though. Maybe they just have their base kits, too. I'm gonna need to review the wiki if it's ever to be in mind. I don't remember Yaksha having bind in her base kits. I remember it was just like vigor and oppression, maybe. This quest might, if it's really just a tiny range bind, this might be an argument for like the easiest one, which would be surprising. Right, we're gonna move you this way. Alright, Yukimura, what do you have? No! Possession! Such a bad position, too. He got possessed back, though. Does he possess this entire column? What happened here? How did he get possessed? I guess Triton must have given reflective buff at some point, but not a... So it's just possession in the center column, which is... Or maybe it's a large range, but everyone's just out of range of it. Maybe it's left and right side too? Man, too bad we can't find it right now. For now, though, we're going to... let's see. I mean, I should have expected possession. Alright. It's time for countdown weakening. Let's go do this. And that was largely painless. What the heck? This was really easy, what the heck? Okay, for anyone else who has done this so far, let me know what other mechanics you've seen, because all I've seen was possession and like a blow range, like, sorry, a blow range possession, as well as bind from the ninjas, or whatever they are, the mobsters. If there was anything else, let me know. Let's see, I'm gonna go read out the chat now. You're keeping him in support slot and not on leader slot. How does that make a difference? Because a reflect debuff is whenever he attacks, isn't it? Not depending on the turn order. And again, your job is very easy, and then you're left. Holy shit, that's taking a lot to load. Bind isn't an issue, let your units get hit boy, Harvey spot. No way, rare boogie CS. You know, I have a twin brother that his role as a Roppongi student, we play every story. Only got last one live, it's full board, you think? Full board possession? What? No. Cruiserdick didn't get possessed. And he's not resistant to possession natively either. Reflect debuff. Did he have... Okay. Boardwide possession? Seriously? Okay, let's do that again. Oh no, is Triton meta in this? Disgusting. Boardwide possession is actually pretty cancer though. What the fuck? Straight up just possesses everyone. You can't avoid it. So I wasn't able to actually do my dungeon run, so might as well do one more, and we'll see if it becomes a bit harder. The possession wouldn't have been that bad of a surprise if you didn't explicitly move pause on Possessed Galore in your team. All units got possessed. I don't even remember moving Triton beside a bunch of units, but sure. Ew! Triton's meta, disgusting. Alright, let's go over here. Over here. Thoughts on the BGM? It's a bit short. I thought it'd be longer. I wasn't expecting this sort of theme though. It's pretty nice. Maybe it'll grow on me. I don't think it's quite as good as the other ones, but it's still pretty good. I don't know what's special about this phase. Maybe it's just the threat of bind. You like the music, but you rarely have the music on. You usually just listen to music or video matching. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting on my own playlist when I find it. Background music's a little whelming for me since you listen to Octopath Traveler 2's OST. Okay, Harvey. Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't listen to any Hosame music, no matter how good it is on my free time. So it's fine for me. Relative to Hosame, it's pretty good. Let's see. Kind of just tempted to do 2 magic ranges here, but I know it's my best interest to stall so that this properly refreshes to 3 turns to extend movement. Fuck it, we ball in, we ball in. And they're really spawning behind a lot. I don't really remember them doing this often in like the previous ones. Let's see. Push back, huh? Let's just bait them to come over here. Alright. Go! Give everyone thing. Okay, he failed to give reflect debuff. Everyone's possessed now. Oh wait, it's still one more phase. We're good. We're good. was saving my charge for no reason. Damn it. I guess I could just keep on stalling. Oof, that actually came out. Oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. I was trying to review Triton statuses. I thought he was a mob for a second. Sorry, but Triton just gives big NPC energy for me. Rest in peace, Triton. There you go. Man, we got possessed. How's okay? Whatever. Yuma being possessed is always funny. All right, how are we gonna do this? It'd be in my best interest to get rid of the front row as soon as possible. So. What the fuck was that damage? Where did that damage come from? Who's doing that much damage? What the fuck? What was that damage? Who the fuck did that? I demand answers. Seriously, I was, who the fuck did that? I didn't even notice. Who? How could a mobster deal like 16,000 damage? I don't see how that's possible. Okay, I'm gonna need to review that. Who the fuck did that? There's no way that a mobster did like 16,000 damage. Just to confirm, there are no missions for this for some bizarre reason. You'd think there'd be missions, but there's not. I guess there's just no battle quest or anyways. But yeah, that's it for the gameplay portion. I do have a few more things to talk about though. So we'll go ahead and join my guild to do that. Well, these dragons service me. You're heading out now? Okay, thanks for coming by, Joe. So we are going to briefly talk about, before I head out, the plans for 8th year. So, what's coming up for the next year is going to be more day quests, confirmed for Akia Gongen, Chernbog, Kindalos, Echo, and Kimun Kamui. Besides that, we have Summopedia Volume 5, if you're into that. And of course, there's going to be another booth at some new place, Comic Market 103, on December 30th. I don't know if any of you know that, but I'm just letting you know, just in case. There's going to be game user interface improvements. So I'm gonna pull out a thing here. Okay, I need to switch to do this. So as you can see here, besides the login bonus, they're gonna improve the interface by letting you change the home screen up to have either a featured character, or an AR, or your guild. So that's a nice quality of life improvement that lets it look a lot prettier. And you can see all the buttons are rearranged too, the DP and the coin, and you finally can see the coin main resource and all that. Besides that, there is going to be an update for, eventually, faster loading times for getting in the title screen or past the title screen, transition to the source screen, which as we know takes forever, and quest re-entry, which I guess is a bit slow too. Lastly, there is, actually not quite lastly, the login streak is going to be updated, so if you miss a day, it will no longer reset you back to day 1. You'll just have to continue it off when you do log into whatever day you're left off at. So that's good for people who don't, religiously play every day, so they can still enjoy the benefits of a login bonus. Or a login bonus streak, rather. So there is going to be an improved event filter function. It'll let you see the boosts of your AR, how much your ARs or units boost whatever resource is available for an event in the roster screen. And there's going to be a direct link to the message box from the enhancement screen for when you're leveling up or limit breaking or skill leveling. And you'll now be able to use level and skill seeds consecutively. So that is good, so that means you will no longer need to level seed your 3-star first to be optimal. You can just directly level seed whoever you want, since it implies that you don't actually need to level them up to the max level anymore to use the next level seed. And there's going to be 5 more team slots, so that's going to be very cool. We only had 10, which is a bit frustrating for my dungeon team creation. So this will allow more team slots for more dungeon teams, as well as teams for the different kinds of free quests you may be interested in. Because I only have 1 for attack seed and have no other space for anything. Well, I might want to make 1 for HP seed and HP blossom and attack blossom and like medallions and all. We'll see. Very cool. I'm very tired of deleting my existing teams to make room for other ones. And lastly, actually, was there any other slide beside that? Okay, that's just the map screen, as you see. And lastly, there's going to be, eventually, I don't know what this means, it's a bit vague, but they said they're going to eventually improve the guild affiliation strengthening feature, and they're going to release more affiliations for existing units. So affiliations that just haven't been announced yet, the question mark ones. Okay. Now, that's finally it. That's everything. Thank you for joining me today. What did I think about this anniversary? It's always good to hear Typhon's voice. He's very sexy. I do think the voice acting was a bit scuffed in terms of they kept on cutting off the tiny bit in the beginning. It's a bit frustrating, but it's fine. The ticket selection, I'm very sad to not be able to redeem Dead, but also, holy shit. This was some commentary I was gonna give if Dead was released, but I had this assumption that it was going to go up to 2020, because last year only went up to 2019, the Selector Ticket. Instead, they just skipped 2020 and 2019, and instead went directly 2021, which was insane, because I feel like this year, the moment you step into the year of Nightglow's Kurgane and Shiva, that's actually when the units actually start being ridiculously good. Because any year before then, they're kind of pretty good at best. Unless you're Christmas Ryota, but he just recently got completely power equipped by Behemoths, so and even then, not even worth it. The only one that's really a big bummer to miss out now on is because they skipped the 2019 and 2020 or whatever years they skipped. It seems for those that wanted Unvari, he's just not available, because he's straight up another absolute must-have. In fact, even more must-have than Wakan Tanka and Oz and all that, because even if he's not that much explosive in effects, his utility effective resource boosting is just it trumps every other effect at that point. So it's very unfortunate that you weren't able to redeem those units as well, but what are you gonna do? For the rest of this anniversary, it's gonna be busy for me. In fact, right after this stream, I'm still gonna keep on working on other crap. So sorry, but you'll have to wait a bit for the videos. But as you saw in this stream, you already got the recommendations. You'll just see it in a fancier format later with a bit more scripting. But yeah, look forward to a discussion on Sunday for both the anniversary content as well as the Mystic Christmas evolutions, which I didn't cover last time. So that'll be covered by a few less people. I believe not as much people are joining this discussion. There's also going to be a stream for finally farming again. I haven't been able to campaign for a long time. I have a lot of drinks, so it's a bit stressful that I'm going to be trying to use all the drinks in this limited amount of time. And then there's going to be the videos, most likely released sometime next week in the beginning. Better earlier than later, but that's as best as they can do at this point. I'm not sure if I'll be able to squeeze in another stream, but Yeah, there's a lot of content for me to make. For the regular player base, maybe not as much. Once you get your tickets, you'll just have to enjoy the free quest farming for a bit. If you are free quest farming, feel free to review the footage of the setup I used to get the maximum amount of resources available. There are other steps you can do that can reliably clear. There's plenty of footage of that elsewhere. But yeah, that's it for me. Actually, not quite. Just a final reiteration for anyone who's willing to spend money. Try to invest in Exodia. It's like shocking that we can get so many amazing units and so many pieces of Exodia in one team. Wakan Mugen, Smoky God, Taromaiti. He only needs Oz, which he should have gotten the last time he printed, because that's when I released the video in the first place, and it's so obvious he's busted. If you have all those units, it's literally the best setup in this entire game right now. So, next anniversary, we might not have this year print again. So strongly consider that fact, and strongly consider pulling this year to get these units, because they might not be available next year. Because I don't know, it seems like they're in fuck a world where they decide to skip random ass years whenever they want. We'll just have to see. But yeah, that's like actually insane what units are available this time. Anyways, I'm gonna go read the chat and then I'll close the stream. Very excited, yeah. Oh man, that all sounds really nice. The quality of life in this game has gotten over years is huge. I think so too. I know it's very easy to be pessimistic, and of course there's still a lot of room to be improved, but, the game has a lot of staying power even without these improvements, so it's like, I would have played it anyways. So I really appreciate these changes in a positive way. I don't see them as it took long enough, but more like, oh, cool, on top of this base game that I really love. Thanks for the stream, of course. You're a dog warrior, Hakenchi number 9. Have a good rest of your day, Ara. Have a good creating the rest of the shorts and rating the evaluations for Nicholas Kurgane and making the assets and preparing for the video, and I'm fucking dead. Actually, before you go, you say that mentors are F-slurs. Yes, I'm referring to you. You're an F-slur too. See you Sunday. Thanks for the stream. Managed to farm enough EXP for 90. Nice. See you out of the arrival. See you, Irby, after spending one night well since you noticed Irby telling you too much details. Alright, have a wonderful rest of anniversary, and good luck with your reprint and 7th anniversary Transient Summon Pulls. Peace.